hurt you, but it's just, again, whoever, causes the most damage gets the first place or whatever, second place, and so on.
Some sort of prize or something, no doubt.
Yeah, and and the prizes obviously are better for, because it does, anybody who attacks it's going to get something. It's just a matter of what, So, I usually finish in like the top 10, so it's pretty decent rewards.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then, but recently they've changed it to where it's it rotates between like being weak for Army, being weak to Navy, or being weak to Air Force. So I have to go in and fucking load up, different shit based on whatever it happens to be that time.
Make sure you're sending the correct stuff so you're doing the most damage, so you're not wasting your time.
Yeah. So I get my top 2 Air Force heroes, and I put, all the troop, how do you call them, the march increases. You get more troops in them with these little fucking cards or whatever that you place on them. And the damage, from Air Force, obviously. So yeah, I loaded up once, because it's kind of a pain. So that way, like, the, second through fifth time, all I have to do is just fucking hit bam bam, the preloaded march. Because they give you like 8 slots for fucking preloads.
Damn.
That's kind of nice. 8 different preloaded marches. Yeah,
that's kind of nice. Yeah. You don't have to like do it every single time.
8 is way more than you really need. That used to only be.
Well, honestly, they're better to have way more than you need. Better to have more than you need.
Oh yeah, sure. No, definitely.
No, we are online.
Oh shit, are we live?
We are now live.
Yeah.
We may have been live for like a minute, but hey, who's counting?
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
I didn't think you were worried people would find out your super secret special strategy for the game or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't even strategy. That's just what everybody does.
Yeah, no, I know.
I didn't say what cards and what attributes I put on.
That's
still
true.
My little secret.
Oh man, so there's this anime
everybody
called.
Everybody uses the same shit there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm sure there's so many people watching. I think there's one viewer, which I assume is probably you or me.
That's not me. I'm still playing the game.
Playing
my little war game.
But I was watching this anime called Euro Camp. It's like relaxing camping. I mean, there's really nothing to it. It's just a group of people that go camping. Like in the anime, like it's like a bunch of high school kids, and they go out and camp. Like one goes camping on their own all the time in the winter, and the other's like playing group trips, and you just watch them go camping, and they talk about different places in Japan that are really nice. And just by random chance, because I don't normally watch a lot of outdoorsy stuff on YouTube. Like I used to watch, like the prepper types do the weird tricks to start firing stuff, just because it's kind of entertaining to see what sort of wacky shit they come up with. But I just randomly got a video suggested to me that's apparently some Japanese chick that just goes out camping in the winter, which is almost exactly like one of the characters in the anime, and I was just like, I gotta watch this video. It's fucking God tells me that this must be done. The universe is sending a message. I should listen. And it was every bit as fun as I thought it would be. It was just very relaxing. She's just camping in like she's camping out on the beach this one, so she grabbed a bunch of fucking oysters off the rocks and grilled them on top of her little portable stove box thing, and it was kind of nice. It seemed very peaceful and pleasant.
Yeah. Now, I'm thinking, Japan, I mean, it's not really getting all that fucking cold in the winter, is it? I mean, other than like
Japan?
Hokkaido, like the,
Japan gets really cold in the winter, depending on the area. Yeah, no, there's a lot of areas that get a lot of real bad, like, snow. There's a lot of mountain areas, too. Because it is a volcanic island, right. So there's a lot of mountainous areas.
Yeah.
A good portion of Japan is wilderness.
I know Hokkaido up north. I think Hokkaido is like a separate island of theirs, right?
I have no idea.
Where it's really cold. It's like north. I know it's in the north. It's the far north end of Japan. I think it's a separate island, but yeah, it's because I know there was these fucking monkeys monkeys, snow monkeys or whatever the fuck, that live on that island. It's freezing. But then there's also hot springs, again, because it's a fucking volcanic island.
So it looks
these fucking
like
monkeys are constantly jumping into that shit.
So it looks like Japan has, let's see. I don't see Hokkaido. I see Sapporo and Ashikawa. Oh, maybe that's Hokkaido right there. But there's like a big separate chunk that's got like 3 different areas on it marked off. Oh, there's... Is
that Hokkaido?
I think it's... Hokkaido. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, there's 3 different cities that were put on road maps. I'm sorry, it was hard to figure out what this fucking map was. How it was set up, what was what.
Oh.
It has the roads in bright red lines, which are usually used to separate like countries and states and stuff. At least in my experience with maps, but in this it's roads. So yeah, Hokkaido is a separate island. It's really closely close to the main part of Japan. And it looks like it would have a pretty substantial, like maybe a quarter or a fifth the size of Japan in Hokkaido. You know, I'd say it's about that percentage of land mass. And then I would assume
there's little monkeys that live there.
Yeah. Oh, they got the monkeys. They got
jump into the hot springs.
What are those big fucking rodent things that everybody really likes? Oh, I can't think of the name of them. They're like these knee-high sort of rodent things. And their response to stress is to just freeze. So like they're not particularly great at like getting away from shit. They just freeze.
They play dead. Not even that. They just
they just freeze. Yeah, but those also hang out in the hot springs. I just saw that on one of the animes that I was watching, so it must be true.
Yeah, it just looks crazy, and you see a bunch of fucking monkeys just hanging out in a fucking hot spring.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And there's snow all around. Like, it's obviously fucking freezing all around them.
Well, that's why they're hanging out in the hot springs. It's fucking everywhere. Warm in there, man. Fuck that, because that snow stuff's fucking cold. As far as I know, at least the northern part of the main island also gets a lot of, like, cold weather and snow, and then there's, like, mountain areas where people live up in the mountains. Or like in valleys that are up in the mountainous areas.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so it's one of those kind of.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it would be like sub. I don't know. I was thinking of it as like subtropical, but then I'm like, it's right next to fucking Russia and fucking.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the same set of what do you call those? Latitudes is North and South Korea. So, and there's snow in North and South Korea. Wow, the southern part of Japan, like Okinawa and shit, is way the fuck south. Like it's not only is it a separate island, it's like hundreds of miles away from the main area.
Great distance away.
Yeah, that's fucking far away. They have islands that you still control.
Yeah.
You know we got Hawaii though.
I ended up watching a lot of shit. I was watching a bunch of shit that ended up kind of revolving around Japan and all the islands and shit. Like, I think Saipan is the one where they were launching the where Enola Gay took off from to drop the nukes.
Oh, interesting. The
hydrogen bomb. Yeah, it's an island. I think it's about 1,500 miles south, because they were saying like it was it was close enough to be within the range. And luckily, the Corps of Engineers had already set up some pretty decent like runways and shit on there, even though they had just taken it over. Like the Corps of Engineers went in and like fucked shit up in a good way. I mean,
Yeah, they were like, we're gonna fucking lay down
perfect
these
runways and shit.
Runways quick.
Yeah, so they can handle the big B bombers or whatever.
Very nice.
Yeah, they're saying that because it was within, it made the round trip like 3,000 miles, which is well within the range of our bombers at the time.
Makes sense.
But yeah, both of them took off from there. Yeah. And then I was watching a thing about North Korea, about all the weird shit that goes on in fucking North Korea, like the gigantic fucking hotel they built that like they never really use.
Oh, isn't there like a lot of weird shit like that in
Yeah.
North Korea? It's all like the same in China.
Yeah, well, North Korea has like this amusement park that nobody goes to. The only time it gets used is if there's like foreigners in town that they want to like fucking show it off to, and then they'll bus in people and let like actual people that live there fucking go. You know, select few people to split out and make like it's an actual park out in operation.
Damn. Also, hey, what's up, Samash?
Hey, how's it going?
Hola. All right, but I'm ranting. My apologies.
No, I did not know about that amusement park. That's fucking dark. Here's this amusement park. Nobody touch it. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up, man.
Right. Yeah, none of you can use it.
Unless the foreigners are here and we want it to look like we give a shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. North Korea is so fucked
and
up.
All the security, like,
everything in North Korea is screwed up. You remember they were talking about, there was a thing where, like, I guess it was somebody went in to do, like, a documentary, and there was all this stuff that was on display, and, like, clearly just been built for that as a show and was not real. Like, stores and shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that going on, dude. It's fucking bizarre. And it's, like, obvious, too, you know? It's like they're not even good at hiding it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what makes it really bizarre. It's like, all right, we know exactly.
Oh, the footage they were allowed to film, even from like the distance they were kept, you could tell like these were all slapped together fake stores, like a movie set.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude.
I guess they thought they.
Yeah, they have a gigantic stadium. Yeah, but like, well, they claim it's like 150,000 seat stadium, although it's probably only like 100,000. They're bullshitting. And apparently the main thing they use it for is to find like dissidents and political prisoners and kind of parade them through there and then fucking
execute them. Yeah. Public execution. We're not that far from that in the fucking U.S. and Canada, man.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty fucking ridiculous. Although I did find out that Florida did pass a law. Oh, go ahead. Continue.
No, go.
I was going to say, I did find out that Florida did pass a law that requires all social media companies that claim to be these free speech platforms like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, they have to put forth a clear, fully written out set of rules, and they have to abide by them. Like, nobody's going to make the rules for them. They have to set their own rules up. But those rules have to be set up and clear and available to anybody who's on them.
Yeah.
So they can't have these secret rules that nobody's allowed to know. It has to be there, and if they don't abide by them, anybody who uses them can sue them in the state of Florida. So that's a big start, and it's they're hoping that'll push other states that were already trying to get that sort of stuff passed to pass it, because the more states that do that, the better.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's going to go with the federal protections that they've been given. Because obviously Congress is full of shit and not going to fucking strip those protections as they should. So they're making that big fucking fuss over everything, but then they're just going to not do a damn thing, like, you know, as per usual. But I just thought that was kind of a nice little,
fucking badger them, but then do nothing.
Yeah, well, it's a start. Essentially, it's kind of a landmark sort of a law. Because and I love the language DeSantis used when he was announcing it in his speech. It was a lot of the same things I was saying about the digital. They've created this digital town square, and for better or for worse, that has become the public square of speech, and we cannot allow them to abuse that, and we cannot allow them the power to shape what is and isn't allowed to be talked about.
Yeah, it's promising, but I'm still I'll believe it eventually happens.
Well, it's the fucking YouTube is still backed by Google. That's a ton of fucking money, but this does open up the potential for like a tort suit, which is the one thing that Google would have to fear, is that say like 30 or 40 YouTubers in Florida eventually have a similar case to go against them with, they get together, and then it ends up picking up steam, and it becomes a big public thing, and it's not as easy for Google to force it on the
class action.
Yeah, like a class action. Yeah, I believe it's like a tort lawsuit where essentially like they're all combined into one complaint. So hopefully it ends up with something like that.
Tort is just a liability. Tort is just a liability.
Oh, am I getting that wrong? It could be. Yeah, I don't know that much
yeah,
about the law. I mean, I know a little bit about the law. It's I don't know the specific terms of everything.
Yeah, well, tort is, you hear the word, well, I used to sell insurance, and you hear the word tort a lot in insurance. There's certain states that have, like,
not to be confused with a tart,
like Pennsylvania.
Which is a cheap woman.
Yeah, nobody's ever made that joke before.
Oh, compared it to a cheap woman?
Yeah.
Terrible. I'm a master
of delicious treat.
Oh, that's true. It's a delicious treat, yeah. I don't really like the concept of tart as a baking thing because it's essentially just an open-faced pie, like without the skin on the top.
Nah. It's weird.
It's like when you order the burrito without the burrito skin. Is it still a burrito?
What's a burrito skin?
Yeah, it's not wrapped up in the...
Yeah, tortilla. I just like calling them burrito skins because it sounds creepy.
It's just a plate.
Yeah. If there's add enough lettuce and it's a salad. What? Burrito skin?
Now I can't eat burritos anymore, dude. And I'm going to be thinking of skin biting into a fucking burrito.
My favorite thing is taco skins for soft tacos.
Damn it. Couldn't stop, dude.
And crunchy taco
fucking
skins.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'll power through.
You should ask if you next time you're making tacos for everybody, like how many taco skins you want warmed up. I like it. It's a fun thing to spread. I mean, hey, whether you were serious or not, I have no remorse. Taco skin is too cool.
Yeah, no, I'll survive. My fat ass will power through, dude.
Oh my god. Oh, and there's now a more affordable option for bulletproof clothing if anybody's interested.
That's probably going to be a good investment.
You get yourself a fucking hoodie. I'll put it in the chat too, like in the YouTube chat. And I have no idea how reliable this is. I'm not being paid. I just saw this and was like, that's not bad. $200 for a bulletproof hoodie, even if it's only for like your standard handguns. That would be pretty fucking nice. If you live in fucking Oregon, like or Chicago. Or maybe like New York, you LA, you might want to fucking invest $200 in that hoodie, even if it's means you can't eat at the restaurant, or you can't order your fucking DoorDash or your Grubhub or whatever whatever your delivery service is near you. Yeah, and they look like they're actually just the weight of normal clothing, like probably like a little heavier, but you can even get like t-shirts.
All right.
And they look like just your regular sort of like 3 to a pack Hanes t-shirts. And they'll stop everything up to a what is it? The highest caliber I think is a 45 or a double-aught buckshot. 357 or a 45 ACP. Those are the two really highest ones up there. Anything up to 1430 feet per second. And it's considered level 2. It's also slash and stab resistant. And it's a t-shirt, and they have panels in the front and the back of the shirt that cover your vital organs. So it's not the whole shirt.
All right. Pretty cool.
I just like, that's kind of cool, man. And it goes up to 3XL. So if you're a chubby guy, you can also get like the backpacks for like $200. Actually, several of the backpacks are only like $140. So if you got a kid and you're worried that some of the kids at his school are starting to wear like the trench coats and listen to a lot of emo music, you can armor up your kid with a bulletproof backpack for $140, $150.
Yeah, it's not much different than the regular backpack prices nowadays.
Not for like a really good one. I think the best I found as far as backpacks go, because I used to backpack when I was working like awake overnights all the time, so I put it through some use on a normal basis. Was the Swiss Gear one I found at Target that was like $60, and that's lasted for years and had no real issues. Nothing kind of gave out. No seams ripping. No inner lining flaking off. None of that problems. And it was a big, nice backpack with a laptop sleeve and a water bottle sleeve on both sides. So had plenty of room for all the stuff you could possibly want. I use it as my emergency bag now because I'm not on awake overnight anymore, so I don't need that.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Nobody cares, I know, but I'm still a bit of a gearhead when it comes to like the stupid prepping stuff.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Stop this. I'm doing some editing right now, and so fucking frustrated over the limit of sound effects I have.
Oh, no. What do you need?
Preferably like a creaky door and a sound of footsteps.
I don't know where you'll find that. I just figured, but sometimes there's people that watch this and they might, maybe, who knows, somebody might have an idea.
I'm doing like a little He-Man parody video, and so like I got the drawbridge going up, a couple of footsteps, and a big guy footsteps. Some swords being unsheathed would be nice.
Yeah. I don't know if there's like a sound that angry vaginas make, but if you could add that, yeah.
I mean, I can find a sound effect for a floppy fish.
There you go. Oh man! Now the sound of a flopping fish made me think of like the vagina just opening and closing, like an angry mouth, but sideways coming at you.
Yeah.
Wet slapping sounds. You probably don't want to put that in there. I don't think that would be very appealing.
Nah.
That might be too far. If I ever get to make a movie, I'll make that one of the monsters that kills people. I just won't call it a vagina. Like, everybody will know, because it'll have, like, all the parts, but, Are you really going to just start fucking whistling? Goddamn, dude. Oh.
It was the Monsters theme song.
Oh, okay. Oh, because I said Monsters. I forget that you guys are so weird about like the way I pronounce things.
No, yeah, we're the weird one.
Yep. Oh my god. Speaking of weird,
I just find it funny, dude. Like, for some reason, it doesn't get old.
I saw the weirdest fucking anime I've seen to date. So, the main character suddenly starts turning into a monster, and he has no idea why. And the monster he turns into is like a fucking those characters at football games and baseball games where they put the costumes.
And a
mascot. He turns into like a mascot thing. And
then some woman climbs inside.
Yeah. And then this chick finds out he's turning into a monster and blackmails him with it because her sister started turning into a monster. And the monsters all fight each other over these coins to give to an alien. And the alien will give them more power. So, like, there's this dude who turns into a mascot, and a girl climbs in and uses him to fight other bad creatures. And they gotta, like, that's the whole anime. And I'm just like, that's fucking nuts. And he's like a skin suit. It's like wet and slimy and warm. Like, it's just like the inside of skin.
Yeah.
So she strips down to get inside of him. Yeah,
she totally offers to go inside him naked, but doesn't go on that. I don't know. The whole concept.
I don't know why he was upset about that. Like, to me, I'd be like, sure, why the fuck not? Like, you're climbing inside of my body. Like, I think nudity at that point is just sort of like, who even gives a shit? Like, that's not the part that you get hung up on in that particular thing, you know?
It was one of those shows that was too weird for me. And
Oh,
it's not
man.
like you can go really weird, just make it interesting, and then I'll gladly give it a watch. But it wasn't even
I'd say there
interesting
wasn't
weird.
anything really interesting until the 4th episode.
Yeah. Well,
That's
for a
that's
show
when
like that,
that's when it started to get interesting for me. I haven't gotten past the 4th episode, though. I may never watch another episode, but I definitely enjoyed what I watched so far, because I was high as balls for like 2 hours watching the first 4 episodes of that shit going, who the fuck thought of this? Like, I get the connection to mechs, I suppose. Like, he's kind of like a meat mech, but Jesus fucking Christ. But I also do appreciate that she always makes a really sexual innuendo humor about climbing inside of him. She's like, alright, doggy style, I gotta get in you. You're like, Jesus Christ.
it's not the mascot they turns into is kind of a dog.
Yeah,
Which
the
is the
whole
other
thing
thing-
is bizarre.
Which is the other thing about it. It's got like a kind of bizarre BDSM thing, because she's very aggressive and kind of submissive. And I'm like, all right, guy, grow some balls. I can't stand this. Like,
Yeah,
you're talking
no,
about
I
this-
do not. I do not identify with the sub characters at all. I've never gotten that, nor the dom
No.
characters. I think that's all kind of fucking weird. People
Like
that have issues.
Yeah, I guess in anime it just doesn't work. Also in porn, it just doesn't do it for me. I'm like, nah, please.
No, it doesn't work for me in porn either. Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
No,
of
it creeps me
BDSM
out.
shit. Yeah.
I know some guys like it. It ain't for me.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about being emasculine in porn. Like, the guy shouldn't be like, take charge and masculine. But like, fucking whipping the chick with fucking whips. I don't see how that's hot. That's not sexy to me.
Well, fair enough.
Or like
What
tying
was
her
she-
up, grabbing her by the hair, and spitting in her mouth. It's like, all right, dude, we've gone way past my comfort zone. Like, yeah, I'll do you. Hey, that's what you're into.
Yeah,
fucking great.
But what if she begs you to do it? Like, please fucking slap her ass, something fierce.
Yeah, by all means.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Dave
just-
Chappelle had a story about that. Dave Chappelle had a story about that where like he was at some club like hanging out outside the front door, and like this dude walks up and he's got this fucking smoking hot chick like on a fucking leash and the fucking collar and shit. And then like they're getting ready to go in, and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, dogs aren't allowed inside. You stay out here." And he like has her just fucking stand there, and he goes inside to the fucking club. And he went up to her and he's like, you don't have to do this. Like, what the hell? What, do you need help or what? And she's like, yeah, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Just, like, leave it alone. Like, she was, into it. She was fully into it.
She's
and didn't need
clearly
help,
psychologically
didn't need
disturbed. Like, I don't agree with the whole, like, I mean, I agree with a lot of people do whatever they want, but I'm not going to pretend that that's not a psychological disorder. Like, there's something fucking wrong with somebody who thinks that's fun. They're deeply
that enjoys
scarred.
that actually
don't pretend. Don't fucking lie to me and pretend that that's normal.
Yeah.
Like, you could do that. I don't care.
Yeah,
You do what
no,
you want.
it's
I'll stay the
fucked up.
fuck out of it, but nuh-uh.
Yeah, exactly. But again, for whatever fucked up reason, like that
Yeah,
seems
that's what
to
she
make
was
her
into.
happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have gone over to ask her if she needed help. Like, if the dog collar is something that's clearly not like a lock of something, I should just take it off and walk away. I'm not gonna fucking get involved. Like, she's making a choice. You know what I mean? Like, at any point, she could just reach up and unhook the thing and walk the fuck away, and anybody on the street would be like, "All right, I'll give you a hand. Get away from Psycho Man." Especially if it's a hot chick,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
But
do.
yeah.
I
That's
do
what you're
kind of find that extremely offensive. Like, if that's your kink at home, fine.
Yeah,
But I don't.
yeah.
I'm not. You didn't ask me to take part in that shit. I'm just walking down the street.
Yeah,
That's
bring it
not.
out
I
into
shouldn't
the
have to
public.
watch that shit. It's not okay for you to get off because people like me are watching. That's not acceptable. If you want to have everybody in public be part of your fucking fantasy, then that's a problem. Like, you don't get to just do that.
Yeah, the exhibitionism shit. So fucking yeah. You
That's
really
why,
should be keeping that shit at home.
I think that's one of the things why what is it, Gaming and Yelling talks about how shitty the gay pride parades are, and he's like, he doesn't fucking like them. He's like, you don't fucking represent me going up there and doing all this incredibly offensive shit in public. Like, it's not, you're not celebrating homosexuality, you're celebrating weird, gross kinks and getting off on,
you're weird fetish and
weirding out the fucking norms, and it's not okay. It's like, fuck you, don't tag me in.
Doing it in public is also the other thing that's really creepy about the gay pride thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my first time seeing the gay pride parade. I actually didn't know what was going on. I was heading somewhere else to meet up with some of my artist friends, and I walked past it, and the parade was just getting started. In the first row, in the first group that goes in there, are a bunch of women on bicycles, and they're totally topless. And in front of them is
like, fucking what?
I'm not joking.
That's
they
so
were totally
dumb.
topless. And there was a police officer who wasn't even. He was looking in the opposite direction. It's like, like when it's time to go, he was gonna, wave him forward. I'm thinking he didn't notice, because I come by, I'm like, oh my god,
like holy shit, there's a lot of titty out in the fucking street. I must see more, purely for intellectual reasons.
Oh sure. I mean, I had numerous reasons to think about it, and so. I just go there and I tell some of my friends, I guess the gay pride thing is going on. It's like, oh, it was a festival? Well, there was a bunch of topless chicks. Now, what was funny is that one of my friends, the person who was doing the organization and all that, this is before she became a hardcore feminist, and she's like, oh my god, that's indecent. And I'm like, I know, right?
It's very indecent.
Yeah.
Although, I'll be fair, compared to a lot of the shit that goes on in gay pride parades, I could care less about a little nudity. I just don't think the fucking people in the leather boy gear and the fucking pony outfits and shit like that belong there. I think that's unacceptable. Nobody else agreed to be part of your weird fetish. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable.
If the gay pride parade was
wave your flags, kiss another guy.
Assless chaps in public is a little weird.
Well, I mean, like, if it was just something normal, like going around making floats, wearing t-shirts, coming out and
wave
saying,
your gay pride flag, kiss your boyfriend, kiss your girlfriend, whatever.
If they're going around saying that we're a respectable member of society and then they're being decent,
then we have to accept you. Then behave as society would ask you to behave.
Exactly. I wouldn't mind that, but it just keeps getting more and more degenerate.
Yeah.
And it's going to some extremes, and then that's where you end. Like, if this stuff that goes unchecked and people don't call that shit out, then you get like the incident that happened in that British library with that colorful gay ape with the fucking
dildo butt gay monkey.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I haven't seen pictures of that yet. I gotta look that up. I heard about it, but I haven't seen pictures yet.
I was hearing it. I just heard it described, and holy fuck, dude.
I think, like, everyone was too scared to call this shit out because they were afraid that you'd be labeled a bigot or something. Because at that time, they were also going after the church. Because the church was like, vehemently anti-gay. And then when society went the other way, well, I mean, no one had the ability to call this shit out, and that's how they got away with all this.
Oh my Christ! That is just a giant dick sticking out where a penis, like it's a giant, like, at least easily 8-inch dildo. Yeah. Right there where a monkey would have a butt, or where a monkey would have his dick. Like, it's not even on the butt. I mean, it's just clearly a penis. That's so fucking inappropriate.
Yep, especially a kid's thing. Nah, man, not good.
Man, that is.
I'm glad it's getting the back.
Had I been a parent, I probably would have just beat the hell out of him. Like, I honestly am kind of surprised nobody just walked over and started beating the shit out of him and then dragged him out back. Like, sorry kids, rainbow dick monkey's got to go.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a fucking disgusting, worthless fucking human being. No, the guy that did it. The guy that did it himself. Like, that guy is just a disgusting, worthless piece of shit. And he clearly belongs behind bars because you don't go hanging around little kids like that. That's not acceptable, normal, appropriate fucking human behavior.
Well, and everyone's gone silent on the whole thing because I like to know. Okay, I think they did publish the name because it was a performance group. not the actual library itself. As far as I can tell, the library didn't know this was going to happen.
Yeah. The library said like we had no idea what they were planning. We just hired them and assumed that they would be appropriate for a library event.
Yeah, now, I could be wrong about
that. They thought they were just
but,
animal costumes. No, I've heard enough of the story to know that, and I believe this is in the UK that it happened.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you have fantasies and you're in the US and you want to find that guy and beat him up, you're going to have to go to the UK to do it. So, start looking for flights now.
Okay. If they're even allowed to have flights anymore, I don't know. I know certain places are trying to roll in their vaccine passports, and that's a shit show.
And it was an event for children from 4 to 14 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they said, and all this thing, they get so offended when people talk about, well, if you're gonna make gay marriage legal, then the next thing they're gonna do is come for your kids. It's like, well, I mean, they clearly are. I'm sorry, this is clearly a gay pride thing meant to sexualize that kind of stuff for children. Like what the fuck else could that possibly be?
Yep.
That's,
you remember the San Francisco
so
choir thing, where again a bunch of them ended up. A bunch of the San Francisco choir guys were like fucking sex offenders, and in the fucking ad or whatever, his little video that he made, he's like, "Yeah, we are coming for your children. We are going to try to brainwash them, or whatever." He didn't say brainwash, but that's essentially what he was fucking saying.
No,
yeah. It was so fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's absolutely it's like, and the thing is, like, I know a lot of gay people that are just normal dudes and chicks. It's just like dudes and chicks. But these weird fucking creepy pedophile activist people are just, I don't get why. Number one, the major organizations for gay rights and gay pride don't actively disavow them and very loudly, vocally disavow these groups and these individuals.
Well,
but they actively fucking embrace and protect them.
That's a big part of the fucking problem, dude.
Yeah, well, they actively embrace and protect them, and that's the real problem.
Well, I think that there are people who do speak out, but they get labeled as bigots, and then they get silenced. Like, also, you can't really, as far as I can tell, you can't really talk about this stuff on various different social media, because it's labeled as hate speech, I think. I don't know.
You know what? That's a good point. There may be a ton of people speaking out who are just being deleted.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think a lot of the opinions we hold, like, and we're just three random fucking dudes, I think a good 60 to 70, 80% of the people out there probably hold similar or the same opinions about a lot of this shit. I think most people really genuinely don't buy into this. And social media is deliberately erasing and keeping you from seeing that you are part of the majority. Like, this isn't decency isn't a minority. Yeah. The people that don't agree with this nonsense but are like, oh yeah, go ahead and be gay, I don't care, get married to another dude, that's fine, no problem. But gay dick monkey doesn't get to hang out at the fucking 4 to 14-year-old event for fucking little kids at the library. I think most people agree with that. That's not something that you have to argue anyone into.
And I really don't understand them protecting them like that. I'm like, dude, they're making your fucking organization or your group or whatever the fuck you want to call it. They're making you look fucking horrible. Like, why wouldn't you call them out on this fucking bullshit?
It lends credence to the uber elite pedophile rings. Sort of like conspiracy theory type things, if you think about it.
I think that there's definitely a part of that.
Go ahead, Smudge. I want to hear what you're saying.
I think that there's. I think there's definitely I think there's definitely a part of that. But I also think that they feel emboldened because they have the ability to manipulate information. One of which being social media. But the other information that gets manipulated that a lot of us don't think about is actually polling data. So, for instance, a lot of the information they'll say, like the news will come up and say, like 70% of the population is for another lockdown, or for a vaccine passport. But I've never known anyone that's ever been.
Oh yeah, nobody wants it at all. There's nobody who's interested in any of that.
Yeah,
I live in one of the most liberal states on the fucking planet, and I talk to people that are definitely liberals all the time. Nobody agrees with any of that.
Like in a lot of these places that do the polling, you could sign up for and be a part of it, and then they'll send you emails, and you fill out the questionnaire and send it back. And as far as we can tell, like out of people who do sign up for that stuff, like they don't ask the political stuff. They'll ask them like, "What type of shampoo do you use? Are you okay with this product?" That's the kind of questions they get asked. That's because there's screening in advance.
Yeah. Well, or they just deliberately lie about what the numbers were. They don't have to be honest about the results they got. Nobody's checking. You know, as long as they compartmentalize so that nobody can, like, prove it wrong who works on the lower levels. You know, most of the gathering and collating of processing of information is all done in the computer. So there's not, like, dozens of people, like, counting all the answers. There's no paper that got filled out, so there's no low-end people who wouldn't have any reason not to, like, be like, nah, dude, I worked there. Everybody said the different. That's not what anybody said. You know, like,
well, and how do we know they're
scanning these, you know?
And how do we know when they do these questionnaires, they just find the people who are
yeah, that's the other one.
And then they say, well, that's how we reach our 70%.
It's like I did a study where I asked 300 friends who all agree with me already about these things, and they all said the same shit that I wanted them to say. You know, like,
yeah. And the only reason those 300 friends said that is because you chose those particular friends, not the other friends that you know wouldn't agree.
Yeah, exactly. That's also just as likely.
So a lot of polling data is very, very skewed. Not to mention, I mean, it's also skewed on things like age and all that. Because it could be like a lot of young people aren't for all this, but a lot of older people are. So the information isn't necessarily made public. So you want to know, well, okay, what's the age brackets, and then what's the political views of these people? I mean, if you're only picking like, let's say, liberal-minded people who agree with all this stuff, well then yeah, your information is going to come off looking one way or the other, and that's why I think like polling information shouldn't really be trusted.
Well, and you think about it, like Trump winning the first time was such a huge upset because it was a genuine evidence that most people don't agree with this shit. Because, you know, they already were trying to rig it a little bit. They just didn't think they had to rig it as much as they did the second time he was elected. You know, like, they had to rig it so bad that they didn't rig it enough the first time, and they were like, oh shit, we got to kick up this ballot harvesting. It didn't work. So they got to rig the second election even more, and that's why you got places where there were more people voting than actual people that lived in the county, because the vast majority of people in the country wanted Trump back, probably close to 70%. And that's just, I mean, that's not to say like that's an anti-SJW. Trump is just sort of like a very, you know, vulcanizing character. People either really, really like him or really fucking don't. For the most part, it seems like the rational, normal people were like, I thought he was kind of entertaining, but, you know, I didn't agree with everything he said.
Nope, as it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, the one good thing of all the stuff that's going on is that people are going to be so polarized, and they're going to be watching the next election like a hawk. People are going to get more involved than ever before in the next election.
I think you might see bullets flying if they try to rig the next election.
Probably.
I think you'll see violence. I don't think you'll see people like politely insisting on going in and checking anymore. I think you'll see people go in and with a baseball bat and just start beating people aside to get the ballots so that they can't be doctored. You know, or the other way around, or they'll be trying to like steal all the ones that were real and try to replace them by protests where rioters are throwing like Molotov cocktails at the fucking ballot counters.
Or maybe they'll find some way to hire like security with guns, making sure that the poll watchers are allowed to go in there and watch the counting of the vote. I remember that was a huge controversy. They wouldn't let the counters come in. Like, they let the regular people come in, but the people who'd watch the counting going on, they weren't allowed to go in. Or they
put up like the fucking paper over the window so they couldn't see, or they stand there and hold stuff up so they couldn't watch.
Like that,
and there are people who've seen videos of that who still think the election was legitimate. Like, how fucking ungodly ignorant do you have to be to see that kind of shit and think, yeah, they were doing that just because they don't like those people. It wasn't anything going on. You have to be out of your
Well, dude, that's why I
mind.
fucking I don't know if you remember last week's show at the end when I said, hey, I think we should probably end the show at this point. It wasn't just because it was late. It was because Lyman was talking about how people that thought the election was rigged were fucking lunatics and whatever.
Oh yeah,
Like
he's an idiot. He's a nice guy. He means well.
Actually doing great the whole time he was there. You know, you guys.
Oh, that would have kicked off like an hour-long argument, and that would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But he means well. He just is unbelievably ignorant about reality. Like, he just has no fucking concept of human nature.
Yeah, he's too. He's
I don't know why, but
what I like to call he's on what I like to call ideological autopilot.
Yeah. But on the other hand,
you know what I mean.
On the other hand, it is good.
Yeah,
you should hear those opinions. You should hear people talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's important to hear all the different sides of different arguments. You may be obviously wrong in some cases, but it's still a good idea to be able to like listen to.
Yeah.
And allow that kind of stuff. You don't want to just be like, well, nobody can ever say something I don't agree with because it's annoying. People should get to say that kind of stuff.
But yeah, that one was pretty shocking, because he's fairly reasonable on some shit. But then it's like, again, I don't know. I don't understand how you could have followed along on anything that happened in the election and not realize that holy shit, the fix was absolutely.
Well, he's agrees that politicians are evil, but really wants to try to say that, but the left aren't. And it's like, no, they're all fucking scumbags.
I'm of the
they're all fucking horrible.
I'm of the opinion that he's trolling
because
like you said, he's so rational. He gets all this stuff, and yet he's somehow blinded by this. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. I think he's trolling.
Yeah, he could just really love debating.
To be fair, I have spent hours gaming with the guy. Just like not on a stream or anything like that. Just me, him, and like Satan and Satire playing like games or whatever, video games. And that's what he's like all the time. So if he's trolling, he is committed. Like, I don't think he's trolling.
He's not giving up the. He maintains the kayfabe really well, I guess.
If you think he's trolling, he's committed to that 24/7.
I've met a few people that are like that.
I'm not saying it's impossible. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you're right, but I accept it as a possibility.
Look, like to put it in perspective,
it's definitely possible. Like I said, he really does seem to love debating.
Like Coppercap, he kept it going for years until he finally cracked.
No, really?
Yeah, he finally cracked. He cracked a few times, and he cracked on the goddamn cunt stream of all places. When Coppercat came on there, we fucking called him out, and it was obvious.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. The other guy I saw him on a. I always suspected it. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I forget the other guy that does the country with Samaj. But I for some reason his name escapes me at the moment. But goddamn, that guy is sharp as a tack. He may spend a lot of time, or at least he used to spend a lot of time being in a drunken mess. But he's a very, very smart guy. Like, very good at reading people.
Yeah.
Schmeckel, yes.
Schmeckel, you're thinking of?
Yeah, Schmeckel is very, very sharp guy. He's very good at reading people, very sharp guy. Maybe a drunken mess a lot of the time, but, you know.
Yeah, he's fine. It's a little hard to follow sometimes because he has some really bad memory.
Yeah,
because he had that accident, so he had an injury, and that was his memory isn't the greatest. Long term, memory isn't so bad. Short term, real bad.
Yeah. Does he still stream without headphones, without a headset? I remember him always streaming without, like, he would just be yelling into his microphone, but he didn't have, like, earbuds or any headset.
Yeah, last time I saw him, he did.
You did actually get a headset or something?
No. He just streaming without headphones.
Oh, he's still doing it like that?
Yeah. We were supposed to start streaming again. He never does. It's like he always forgets, or it's because now this kid's getting older. She's a lot harder to get into bed because he streams whenever she's gone to bed because doesn't want Daddy to go up there and say awful, terrible, offensive things and get drunk.
Oh man.
I mean, he might be an asshole. He might be an asshole on the internet.
Soundproof that room.
Well, sure, but the kid's running around. She can still come in. Maybe
kids are good at sneaking around and listening to you when you don't think they're fucking listening.
Yeah,
they're fucking smart.
That's true.
Sneaky little bastards.
I remember when my parents would have like fucking. I would always sneak down on the stairs. Like when I lived in New York, I was like maybe 6, 7 years old. I would always sneak down the stairs because like you could go down just 4 or 5 steps and you could see into the living room. There was no railing or anything on that side, which now that I'm thinking about it, is pretty fucked up. But anyways, I would sit there like I'd sneak out of bed and I'd sit there watch TV without them knowing. But then something would like make me laugh, and I would start laughing, and they'd turn their head, and I'd run back to my bedroom.
After a while they probably realized you were there every time, and they were just like playing along with it. Like I'm sure it was annoying at first, but after a while they're like, it's kind of cute. He's sneaking down the stairs. Let's let him watch.
Yeah, because they never like came up and fucking confronted me about it. Be like, all right, he's gonna be gone for at least a half an hour.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if like that was their time to get it on, they would have fucking come up and said like, "Yeah, all right, get back in bed."
Yeah, that was kind of like how I felt when I
yeah. Okay, they would be in their bedroom for that. I would imagine. Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like they were like whatever. He's
Like I remember the first time I ever watched that anime movie Ninja Scroll with all the violence and everything, and I'm like, I got my little brother. Hey, yeah, we gotta see this. So we go out into the living room, and my mom, she's looking at the computer facing the other direction. I'm like, okay, make sure it's not too terribly loud. And we're having a good time. And if you've ever seen Ninja Scroll, there's a scene where the girl ninja she essentially gets raped. Yeah. And you see a fair bit of that. Now, my mother, big feminist that she is, would have a thing or two to say if she saw that. As soon as that scene came up, I was like frozen in fear. Like the moment my mom turns her head, oh dear God, we are in so much fucking shit.
Oh no!
It was one of the most frightening moments of my life. And then when I finally turned off the TV, I'm like, okay, we'll watch this in my room.
Yeah, so let's go somewhere else.
Let's not see this.
What was it? I had not the same situation because it wasn't involving a parent, but I was in the office at work, and I have a little radio that I take to work that I play. And I can either just set it to radio, or I can plug a tiny little USB in and play like MP3 music. And I didn't realize that I had included a couple songs by Liz Phair in that playlist, and one of them was the HWC song, which stands for Hot White Cum. And I heard the first 3 notes play and just grabbed it as quick as I could and switched songs to the next one. I'm like, nope, that's not the one we're playing at work. I'm gonna have to delete that shit off the fucking playlist now. And then the other morning, luckily no one was there, but there's a lovely song I have called Smoke, Weed, Eat, Pussy. And the main lyrics are smoke, weed, eat, pussy every day. And I definitely didn't let that song play all the way through. I was like, I'm gonna say that's probably not appropriate. But I didn't realize it was playing because I just, it kind of background noise while I'm filling out paperwork for work. And I was like, about the third time they went through the chorus, I was like, oh shit, like. So I think I might stop doing that and just start listening to radio and not have to worry about whether or not I've deleted everything that I shouldn't have on there, because I have a lot of dirty songs.
Yeah, you want to be careful with that.
Yeah, You think? Oh my gosh. Oh, I saw a great thing in Texas. I guess they're during the arguments about voter ID for the local and state congresses and stuff. This lady went through a list. She was asking one of the people that was bringing up reasons against it. She's like, "Do you need an ID to rent like an apartment? Yeah. You need an ID to like have Social Security? Yeah. Do you need an ID to like pick up your medications when you go to the pharmacy? Yeah. Do you need an ID to fucking open a bank account? Yeah." And she just listed all the shit you normally need one for, like literally everything down the list. And by the end, you're like, man, yeah, that really makes not having an ID when you're going to vote seem real fucking ridiculous. Like,
absolutely.
You need an ID for literally every other part of the
why would you need to have an ID
life.
for something as unimportant as voting?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
It's only the basis of our fucking democratic system. Why would you need to show ID?
Yeah, exactly. It just listing the normal things, like you gotta have an ID to rent a place, you gotta have an ID to fucking open your bank, you got an ID to cash a check, you gotta have an ID to buy a pack of cigarettes or a bottle of fucking liquor.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're gonna like make people turn in an ID to do all these other things, really, is this really that big of a fucking stretch? Like, stop fucking whining. Everybody has one. If not, it's real easy to get. It's not at all difficult. It's like $20 down at your local DMV to get a state ID.
Well, not just that. If you're trying to say that,
Yeah, it turns out even black people can manage it.
Yeah, yeah. If you're saying that black
contrary
people
to
can't,
what they believe.
yeah, if you're saying black people can't, it comes off as kind of racist.
It doesn't come off as kind of racist. It literally is racist. It's fucking ridiculous.
That's the condescending racism of the left, dude. They think they're all fucking, like, again, subhuman almost, dude.
How is saying a certain race of people are incapable of getting an ID not racist? Like, I don't understand how that could possibly be anything other than racism. It's like, it takes $20, a birth certificate, and a fucking, like, bill with your name on it. It's really not hard. Oh my god, I love that thing you put up, like the last two games you played have to be combined or something like that. How does it work out? Then Skyrim and Subnautica with the Crusader underwater. I'd play the fuck out of that game. just like Skyrim, but instead of dragons, it's like fucking big fish and sea worms.
The Crusade knows no bounds.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Were sharks. Because apparently were sharks are a thing in the Elder Scrolls universe.
Oh, nice. All I remember is in every other Elder Scrolls game other than the one in Skyrim, there was like more stuff underwater. Like there was more reason to get like underwater breathing and like actually be able to go under the water and do like some cool shit and find some neat things. Like they even had combat in some of them where you would like swing your sword underwater and like fight fish and shit. But Skyrim was just such bullshit when it came to that. It's like then you've totally ruined the whole point of the Argonian race.
Yeah,
like that was their one benefit, was all the really cool underwater shit is easier if you have an Argonian. But they're generic and everything else. Our chat disconnected.
Yeah, I think they were like it was that, and they were like immune to disease, right? I think that was the two main things for Argonians.
Being immune to disease, that was also a really nice part. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was really nice, because I think I played an Argonian in almost every playthrough just because I hated dealing with the bullshit diseases. Like the constant search for like fucking cure disease potions, or constantly having to find like the ingredients so you can make your own. Just like for a while, it's like,
or a shrine. At least you could go to a shrine and cure yourself. So that kind of made it not as bad.
Yeah, it still was just like
it
was still so obnoxious.
Yeah, it was a pain. Yeah,
especially when it was something like vampirism and you were like real deep in like fucking dungeons or something, and you're like, man, I don't know if I can get out before I'm entirely made into a vampire, and then I got to go through that entire quest to fucking unvampire myself, and it's just dumb. Like,
Yeah, it's some bullshit, man, for sure. Cause yeah, you'll be like, all right, well, am I almost done, or am I like not halfway through? Am I more than halfway through? Like trying to figure out which, should I kind of just plow through and finish, or do I have to run the fuck out of here so I don't,
Yeah. Well, like one of the first things you do in Skyrim or any other Elder Scrolls game, if you're not playing a character that's resistant or immune to disease, is to like learn enchanting and craft like a ring or a necklace that's like 100% resist disease.
Yeah. I would always do. Wait, I don't know if I ever did the disease one. I definitely always put water breathing when I would do my enchantments. I would have one, like my helmet. I think the helmet had one on. There might have been other ones too, but I know I always put it on the helmet. And yeah, I don't know if I ever did the disease. I think I would usually just have a necklace that had, because, once you can do dual enchantments, like it's kind of all over. You get pretty OP. You start putting dual enchantments on every fucking armor or necklace. So yeah, I think I would just craft a necklace that had disease immunity plus, whatever the fuck else.
Like dark vision or fucking what do you call it?
I would usually
water breathing.
Yeah. Or like something that reduced the cost of whatever kind, illusion magic or conjuration magic or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I know I had enough shit that I could throw on like the fuck. What's the name of the thing they give you when you become the head of the Mages College? God damn it! I can't even think of the name of the place. You become the
the Archmage.
The Archmage. Yeah. What is the thing? Is it called the Archmage's Code, or it's called something else? Right?
No, I don't remember.
But anyways, like I could throw that on and the other shit, and basically what I would do, especially because you could reset any one that you got up to 100. Basically, whenever I would go into a town or anywhere, I would do the Detect Life spell. And I had so much enchanting shit that it literally didn't cost any magicka. And that fucking Detect Life spell fucking jacks up your... you can level up really quickly.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think I had one game where I had literally like 20. I had make it, they call it making it legendary or whatever. I had done it like 27 times.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
I never went that far in leveling. Good God.
Yeah, well, I just again, anytime I'd go into a town, I would just do that and have it going as I'm walking through the town. It's not like I was just sitting there doing it. You know what I mean? So basically, it was really no effort to it. Other than holding the button down or whatever, but it was pretty ridiculous because I got my character up to like level 215 or something like that, and I think the original cap was like what 79 or something like that.
71, I think.
Yeah, but either way, it definitely
71 or 81 for some reason.
Yeah,
right. I think the closest I ever did to that was I made it so that destruction magic and restoration magic didn't cost anything, and so that every fight you're in after that, you just take the ultimate destruction spell, which is that weird sort of lightning blast thing that looks like a Kamehameha, and just fucking hose everything down for like however long it takes for it to die. But like nothing can get to you. It's just so much damage. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just fucking crazy.
And then if you're hurt, and you can do it on the restoration, and you just live forever. You're like nothing can kill you.
Yeah, it gets pretty fucking nuts, dude. And again, especially since the necklaces and the rings, like you can get a necklace and a ring, get it enchanted at some ridiculously high percentage or whatever. So yeah, really you can carry around rings for any of the schools of magic because they don't weigh shit. Like it's a point. What the rings are like 0.3 of a pound. And the necklaces are like 0.5.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? It's not much carry weight to carry around, a necklace and a ring for each school of magic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, plus obviously you can enchant items too. Because I used to carry around, I would get like leather or whatever I think leather was the most lightweight shit. But like I would carry around like leather boots that had increased carry weight. So if I ever get, over encumbered or whatever, I could just throw on the leather boots, and then I'd be okay to like run back and like go back home and unload all the shit.
Oh yeah, because I mean you got to collect everything.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely do, dude. Ingredients. I would collect almost everything that was worth at least 100. And there's a lot of shit that's worth at least 100.
Oh, I would collect like sweet rolls and fucking.
Oh wow.
And shit like that. Like I'd be like, with this playthrough, I'm getting all of the food. Like, so every barrel that has like 3 potatoes in it, I'm like, oh, potatoes, I'll take those.
Although I did have one time where I was literally taking all the food and all that shit too, and unloading it not in a cabinet or anything, just unloading it on the floor in my house.
Oh, I did that with gems once, and it was a huge mistake.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, because you get that one perk with the gems, and you find fucking like 3 of them in every box.
Yeah, the Prowler's Profit, dude.
Yeah, and at a certain point, you just have so much money that it doesn't matter. So I was just like, I'm just going to dump them all on the table in my house.
Yeah, I would eventually end up having like 3,000 of each gem.
I accidentally did a fuss row dot at the pile of gems and crashed my computer.
It was just, yeah. It's just trying to do the physics for like 5,000 different little tiny things.
It's a lot more than 5,000.
Yeah. No, if I were your computer, I would do the same. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not doing that shit.
The other thing I did collect one time when I played through Skyrim was I collected all of the human bones, human flesh, hearts, skulls, the human skulls. And then when I adopted children, I just put it all in their room.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So that they could be necromancers.
Yeah, you know what I would always give my kids? You know how you could give them
like a fucking giant, like really dangerous knife because you can only give them like a knife.
I would give them a Daedric dagger.
Yeah. I just figured like if they ended up actually fighting like a monster for whatever reason, like they'd probably fucking win.
Man,
like this incredibly highly enchanted Daedric dagger. Like.
Yeah, and the fucking Daedric shit was huge, dude. Like, a dagger was pretty close to the size of a regular fucking sword, dude.
Yeah, it was always hilarious.
Yeah. Daedric. I love that shit. The fucking aesthetic of the Daedric stuff was... I fucking love that shit, dude. The designs of all that different shit.
Yeah, that was always fun.
Yeah. Although I think my favorite set was the Nightingale armor, as far as aesthetics.
Yeah, no, that was really good looking set of armor. I like glass. Yeah. Glass armor was my favorite.
Yeah, glass armor was cool. Some of the Stahlrim stuff looked silly, but some of it looked badass.
Yeah, it was kind of a crapshoot with that. Like some of the weapons were really nice, but the armor kind of looked dumb.
Yeah, like the Warhammer was like this weird piece of just a Stahlrim
piece of fucking ice. Yeah,
it looked silly, dude. But some of it looked fucking awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. I think. Oh, dude, did you ever watch the Skyrim parody, the Senile Scribbles?
Yeah. Oh, I've watched that a couple of times. It's hilarious.
But yeah,
I've watched that, and then there's also a show where it's like Skyrim Cops or something. That's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, that was the Nerdist channel, actually, the one that Chris.
Yeah, that's exactly the Nerdist one.
Yeah, dude. Do you remember what? Because there's one of the Senile Scribbles or whatever. There's a scene in there where this guy comes up and he's trying to sell him Stahlrim armor. And he's kind of selling it. And do you remember what the dude described it as? He's like, yeah, that's why I look like a fucking, demon killing badass, and you look like the lead skater in fucking Alduin on Ice.
Oh. Oh man. I bet you had no idea, Samaj, when you put that innocent Skyrim Subnautica meme that it would launch into this giant fucking thing about Skyrim.
Yeah, no idea. I thought it was funny. I saw it and thought, well, this is actually pretty clever.
Oh goddamn.
Dude, I put so many hours into it, I should talk about it at least a little bit. I did put like 2,000 fucking hours, literally, into that fucking game. Was it 2,000? It was a lot, I know that.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how much it was. But I think it might have been 2,000 hours.
I don't know how many hours I put in, but it's a lot. It's weird because I bought the Skyrim Special Edition and put another 122 hours in that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah.
But that doesn't get anywhere near as... Oh, it's Elder Scrolls. I keep forgetting it's... Oh, I've only put in 300 hours on Steam. But if you count like the Xbox version of it, I think I put in a lot more than that. Like probably twice that.
Yeah.
Because my initial playthrough was on the Xbox version. It was not the Steam version, not the computer PC game. I was console boy for a really long time.
Yeah, no, all mine was on console. That's why I hated when people would be like, just do this console command. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
that was
Xbox
so
is
nice when I
fucking
finally started playing Skyrim and stuff on PCs. And like the fixes for stuff was just like, oh, you just enter this into the console command. Now it's like, oh, music to my ears. I love hearing that because I'm like, now I can fix it really easy.
Yeah, see, I never had that luxury, dude. So I would always get pissed. I'm like, dude, give me a way that I can do it without console commands.
Well, I mean, half
We're
the video
PC
games out there
master
now
races.
are released in alpha state anyway. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is fucked up how Bethesda just knows that the fans are gonna fucking fix it, so they
Oh, I
don't.
mean, I'm not
bother
even
making
talking
it.
about just Bethesda. I'm just saying, just video games in general at this point are released in broken
Yeah.
states all the time.
Yeah.
And then half the time,
fucked up,
they don't
dude.
even fix all the problems, even though they know what they are. Like, the
No, they
people
let
that end up fixing all these
community.
games are, like, mod communities and stuff like that.
Yeah. They let them fucking modders fucking fix it, and then they jack the patch for themselves. You know what I mean? They jack all that shit and just, here's the patch.
Yep.
We didn't do any of the work to fix all the shit that this patch fixes. But
Oh, if
here
they
you
even
go.
release a patch, 90% of the time they're just happy with the mods doing it, and they don't bother.
Yeah.
Like I've been
Really
kind of
fucked
like
up.
just dropping a lot of time into Conan Exiles because it's a survival fantasy game, so those kind of games really take up a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And like there's all sorts of shit that's still broken, and the game is like 3 years old. Like, and I'm talking like real basic shit. Like you can catch and enslave people and make them like do stuff for you. So like you can have a guy that goes out and does your fighting for you. That's really the only way to play the game. And you can't really fight against a lot of the big boss monsters and stuff, but the thralls that you catch can. And
Gotcha.
if you give them a shield and a one-handed weapon, they'll just periodically freeze and do nothing for like hours.
Oh wow.
You can't have a shield on any of them.
Fucking
Like,
crazy.
it just doesn't work. And it's like, that's 3 years old, and that's a huge fucking problem. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Because,
That's something that definitely should be fixed.
the combat is terrible in that game, and using a shield yourself is virtually impossible. But I'll be damned if the Thrall can't use that shield real fucking well when he's using it, and save a lot of fucking damage.
Nice.
But you have to give them a two-handed weapon at this point, just because otherwise they freeze for like 90% of the fucking fights you're in, and just watch you die.
Yeah. That's fucked up, man. Yeah, see, something that game-breaking, or that's not necessarily game-breaking, but that's significantly bad. Yeah, you gotta fucking fix that shit, dude.
Oh yeah, and then like
they
there's all your pets and thralls will get stuck on the map all over the place constantly.
Oh god, that shit would happen in Skyrim a lot though too.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, that's why I didn't use followers in Skyrim. I liked Skyrim because, yeah, there were a lot of glitches, but you could oftentimes play around them.
Yeah. I would essentially I would make my follower like stay outside of a dungeon, or like when you go into like the labyrinthian or whatever, that one labyrinth, it's like an outdoor labyrinth. In that area. I would have her wait outside, because if we go into that fucking that maze or whatever, she's gonna get stuck between a couple walls somewhere and just be running into the fucking wall
and just never fucking be used. You can never use her again. Yeah, she just
you can't even coax her out of it. That's what, like, I could find her. It would usually be Lydia for me, but I could find her, but she would not fucking follow me back out. Like, even if I'm right next to her, dude. Even if I'm telling her to go home, any of that shit. Yeah, it just wouldn't fucking work.
A lot of the problems in Conan Exiles would be resolved if you could just put the thrall back in your fucking inventory and then place it back down on the ground again. That's all they would have to do, and you could fix so many of the problems with like instant ease. Just like, oh, well, he's stuck here, I'll just pick him up and then walk over and set him down like 10 feet away, and it won't be a problem anymore. But they just don't do it. I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, considering all the behavior lately from the developers and that, I would suggest that they hate their customers. The way a lot of businesses seem to nowadays.
Yeah, it does seem strange how many businesses out there are like, well, that it's not for our customers. Like, but who do you... What?
Like, yeah, you know, you lifelong diehard fans, this isn't for you.
Yeah.
It's the franchise that you've loved, but we're going to
fucking, what was it, the He-Man thing? I never realized that was written by Kevin Smith.
He-Man?
Yeah, the He-Man Masters of the Universe bullshit that just came out, where it's like a Tila Master of the Universe special
that
magical princess fairy.
I'll bet you about that.
That was Kevin Smith. Wrote that shit. He shat that on the fucking world.
Yeah, and he's being such an asshole about it that I really am. I don't think I'm going to bother watching Clerks 3 because of how much of an asshole.
Oh, I'll watch it. I just won't pay for it. I'll watch it on a pirate site just to see how bad it is. I assume Clerks 3 is going to be fucking terrible. I mean, come on. But, it's a shame, but it's very clear at this point that every single ounce of talent Kevin Smith had was stored in his fat cells.
Yeah, obviously it went out with him.
Yeah, every ounce of fat.
You know what's really fucking
bizarre? He looks like he survived the fucking Holocaust.
Dude, he seriously looks less healthy being thin than he did when he was fat.
Well, he didn't just lose weight. So at first he lost weight, and everybody was like, wow, you look really good. And then he went vegan, and then now he just looks like a Holocaust victim.
He really does, dude. It's disturbing how sickly his motherfucker looks.
Yeah, outside of like the 3 genetic freaks that are vegan and look really normal and huge, like 99.9% of vegans look like they're on the edge of death. Like all the time. It's like, oh my god, do you have cancer? Oh, no, you're a vegan, my bad.
Like, oh, you contracted veganism. I understand.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's even worse. Your suffering will extend so much longer. I'll be fair though. I don't care if you're vegan as long as you don't like insist on lecturing other people constantly. You know, if you're just like, hey, I'm vegan, I can't eat that, then hey, whatever, that makes sense. But if it's like the constant, like, those animals suffered. It's like, good, suffering animals taste better.
Yeah. Is that what makes them so delicious?
God,
is that what they're doing to us? Are they making us suffer, and that way people are going to come down and kill us, or aliens or something? Is that why we're suffering through the death of our pop culture?
Well, and it is. It's all got something to do with the vaccine because the fucking De Blasio's talking about the voluntary phase being over.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
they want
like, all right, well, if they try to do that, Mr. De Blasio, then we'll come find you and put a bullet in your head and fuck the brain hole. Like, how do you like that?
Yeah.
A German guy who fucking picked a fake Italian last name
to run for fucking office, yeah.
Because I believe his first name is like Wilhelm, like, and his last name is really Germany-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he literally changed his name to Bill de Blasio.
Oh man.
Try to pretend he's fucking Italian. Or at least not German.
Well, like in many other parts of the world, I've seen the protests going on in Germany because they also implemented that vaccine passport. It's not going well for the government because every time they do that, people are fucking losing their shit. Mm-hmm. They're on the streets. They're protest. Like, you don't hear about it on the mainstream. You can't.
Well, it's really easy to see this bullshit with the like vaccine passport and go. But then what else are they going to make me put in my body? Like that. It becomes real easy to become anti-vax real fucking fast.
Yep. And very well that's exactly what is going to happen. So.
Oh, that they are going to try to make a passport that you have to have a vaccine to be on a plane or something and go on anywhere else on a passport?
Yeah, well, that and the unintended side effect that people are just going to become anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, all that's going to happen is that more and more people are just going to not want to get it. Like, the more they talk and the more they lie. Like, because a lot of people are just, this is just normal, rational decision-making. Like, this is a type of, not really a vaccine. It's been tried before. It failed miserably and killed a lot of test animals and even some babies in the 70s. Let's wait and see if these other idiots want to go out and get it and test whether or not it actually is safe. And it's already turned out to be completely worthless because the second a new variant comes along, it doesn't work. But it's just a rational choice.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to be completely out of your mind to want to inject it.
I mean, people we keep hearing about these variants, but no one's produced any evidence there is any variant at all. We've heard about it.
The Delta variant. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and the only reason they're calling it the Delta variant is because because it used to be like there was the Indian variant and the UK variant, and people started getting upset about that because you're making it sound like they're disease.
Okay, so the vaccine is an mRNA thing. Essentially, they use mRNA to program your proteins to produce your immune response to make the cells in a very specific fashion that'll go out and fucking deal with the viruses, and they'll know exactly what to look for and exactly how to react. The problem is when you do that, anytime you're introduced to the virus in the wild outside of laboratory conditions, it's incredibly useless because it's so specific, and your body didn't reach that stage by creating a lot of different things that are really similar and working towards an effective solution. So your body can't just immediately switch to something that's really similar because it didn't do all those steps and create all those other variations to try to fight this virus prior to that. And so anytime you're introduced, you end up with worse symptoms and than you would normally get and actually like a higher chance of death. Like a higher percentage of the people will die than if they had never been injected with the mRNA vaccines in the first place. And that's been tested multiple times with laboratory animals and even once with human trials that killed some babies. So I don't know how anybody who wants to talk about science could rationally want that in their fucking blood.
More and more we know this has nothing to do with the science, because the science is just not being listened to.
Yeah, it's completely outside of the science. People are like, oh no, I should put experimental drugs in my body all the time. You're like, you're fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Although, yeah, if they're that dumb, maybe they should have it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's all well and good
out of the fucking breeding
population. But what I would even went into that for is they have to have variants because they can't very well just admit that the normal virus in the wild is just not going to get stopped by these vaccines. They can't admit that the vaccines are basically not working, which is exactly what science would tell you is the most likely event. Is it, oh yeah, this thing that's never worked in the past that we never tested prior to releasing it in people doesn't work? Oh, what a shock.
Huh?
Yeah. So it has to be a Delta variant, this evil new variant that's getting out and getting people.
Nuts.
And it's not like it's a new variant. That's the other thing. It's a renamed variant. It's the Indian variant. It's what they're calling it. It's what it was before then. But like I said, the Indian government, and I think also the UK government were saying don't call it that because it's not us and blah 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 blah.
We should just call it what do you call the fucking the province that it came from China? We should just call it the Wuhan virus.
Well, you can't say that because then people will start thinking it came from. Yeah, they'll start saying it came from China.
Yeah, because it came from China, from the Wuhan laboratory that was funded by Fauci.
Yeah.
Who was funding gain of function research that he was not supposed to be funding under fucking federal law?
Did you see him in that last back and forth he had with the Senate? I think it was some doctor who's now a senator was questioning him, and they had that. Thank you. And they had that big back and forth. That. Now, if you look closely to the sides where you can look at Fauci's hands, he is shaking like a fucking leaf.
Because it's becoming very obvious that he paid for this virus to be engineered, he has investments in all the companies, or not in all the companies, but in a couple of the different companies that are making the vaccines.
And he
had investments in some of the masks, and he helps cover it up. It's like, you clearly helped release a virus. Like whether you did it intentionally or inadvertently, he helped release COVID-19 on the rest of the world and is making a giant profit on it. He's making tons of fucking money on this.
And he would have been fine if he came out with it and said, okay, look, I made a mistake, it's this, this, and this. Here's what we need to do to fix it. Like, he would have been, people wouldn't have looked at him the way they're looking at him now. Because he covered it all up. And even now he's still trying to cover it up. Saying, oh, no, it's clearly not gain of function. even though
there's no set of definitions of gain of function that doesn't qualify under. Like
even by his own definition, his own bloody definition that they use, it's like, this is clearly gain of function.
Yeah, you mean you took a virus that only infected animals and manipulated it so that it would also infect humans? Explain to me how that's not gain of function. And then he tried to be like, you can't tell me, you can't, lie about me creating the COVID-19 virus. And then Rand Paul's like, nobody said anything about that. You're not being accused of that. That is not what we're talking about. Why are you bringing that up?
Sounds like we should be accusing you.
Pounced on him, like, fuck you. That's not what we're talking about. Stop lying. It was just like, God damn. It almost went British Parliament for a second there, where they're like, "You, sir, could go fuck yourself in the ass."
Dude, the fucking British shit, dude. The House, that shit is fucking hilarious, dude. And watching them just insult each other, dude, fucking great. I wish we did that here, dude.
Oh god, it'd be so great.
To do, but I wish it was.
You know what? Vote me for California, representative or senate in the House of whatever, and I guarantee you, we're gonna be bringing that in.
Probably.
They can't kick me out. They can only fucking get mad and give me like talking tos.
See, the thing is like here in Canada, they actually, our politicians do that, but the thing is. Well, the thing is, they wait before, because what happens if someone's speaking and they don't like it, and the other side can start, like booing or talking over them or whatever else. And if you looking in on some of those politicians, they are saying, "Well, fuck you, you motherfucking blah 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 blah." I'm like, you wait until everyone starts talking, and then you start shouting out the insults. And then when they turn the camera on these people, you can see them flipping the bird. And doing the whole I'm gonna cut your neck kind of thing, the whole throat.
I like the British Parliament better then, because they're so much more classy about it. It's like, you have the bloviated lips of a donkey, sir. They're so fucking entertaining. Because it's never like, you're a piece of shit. It's always like just so much more creative than that.
Yeah, really clever insults, dude.
Oh, they're really good at it. Like, part of being a politician in the UK has got to be like being real fucking quick on your feet.
Yeah.
I don't know if Canada's that way though. I've never seen the Canadian Parliament. I don't know how close
it's set up essentially the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our system's based on the UK model, so yeah, it's very much the same way.
But are they as polite about insulting people? Like, they'll wait for the person to finish talking.
No, they don't wait till they finish talking and start talking over them and all that. It's kind of noisy at times.
Oh, that sounds fun. I'll have to try to watch some of that at some point. See if there's like a highlights reel.
It's okay. I watch a bunch of them.
Well, I'm hoping there's like somewhere on YouTube there's like a 5 or 10 minute video with like 15-20 second clips where it gets real good.
Yeah,
not just like a whole long boring ass thing that I don't understand any of the politics of.
Well, what's annoying about the whole thing is that very often the Conservatives Party will be grilling Justin Trudeau, and they'll go out with these very important questions about ethics violations and all that stuff. So, stuff I actually want to know, and Trudeau will always give the exact same response. Clearly, the Conservatives are playing political games while we were invested in helping Canadians, and he never answers the question. Never. He
Oh yeah,
everything.
that's one of the things that's absolutely the most frustrating thing about politics and political interviews. Is you can tell that they've been like very carefully like tutored by a lawyer, so that they never say anything that could be used to incriminate them, because they will never answer a question straightforward, not fucking once. And that's one of the things that I don't understand, why people don't immediately just not trust them. Like, because anybody who's just refusing to answer questions straightforward, like, no, I didn't do that. Yes, I did do that. But they're like, well, in this particular set of circumstances, if I had done that, I would have done. Like, you're like, all right, we're fucking done.
Well, I think for me the most infuriating one was when Justin Trudeau was in the midst of his second ethics violation, and
making his family rich.
Yeah, and the Conservative Party was asking, how many times have you met with the ethics commissioner? And he just sort of said, he answered, Mr. Speaker, because here you don't talk back and forth with each other, you have to talk through the Speaker of the House. So that you look to the Speaker and say, Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to meet with the ethics commissioner at any time. And he sits down, and they keep asking him the same question over and over again. How many? We don't care if you're happy. How many times have you met with them? Have you met with them at all? Because the ethics commissioner.
Have you ever even talked to this guy? Don't fucking lie.
Exactly. And then we find out after that the ethics commissioner apparently was appointed by Justin Trudeau. So essentially, Justin Trudeau is this guy's boss, and so that's essentially how we go. Exactly, and I'm like, that's a clear conflict of interest. And it also, like, okay, so he was found guilty of 2 ethics violations. One was his trip to the Aga Khan, which is a place called Billionaire Island, where a bunch of the wealthiest people in the world go to meet. I think a leader of a country going to a place like that, it's really controversial, because, like, why are you meeting with these billionaires? Are you making deals and stuff like that? Like, that's
that'd be like the equivalent of politicians going to, like, Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's one of the most questionable, corrupt things that you could possibly do. And on top of all that, he went there without any security, without any bodyguards. He went there with his family. And he told all of his security to stay home. So he thinks, so it's like, you're not allowed to do that. But that's what he did. So obviously he was found guilty of
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, fun story. My uncle and his boyfriend went hiking out near Bohemian Grove and accidentally crossed some sort of boundary where they got onto Bohemian Grove property, and there were, like, golf carts, men with guns. They were going to release the dogs. Like, it was fucking crazy. The security response was way over the line.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going across the line of Area 51.
Except probably you're more likely to get shot at fucking Bohemian Grove. There's a lot of places to bury a body out there no one would ever look.
Bohemian Grove was an interesting place to go to. I remember when Alex Jones went there and he got that video of the Moloch worship with the epitaph of the child.
Crazy ceremony.
Yeah, with the fake baby.
Yeah, it was creepy. And then there's all the stories that go on. Like, I remember an audio message I heard from Nixon, because with Nixon, he always recorded every conversation, and people always thought that was creepy, but actually, you know what, that sounds like a reasonable thing to do. And
really,
he was talking about Bohemian Grove, and he was talking about all the rich people, the rich famous people who's going there, and Nixon says it is the faggiest place I've ever seen.
The faggiest place I've ever seen. Can you fucking imagine a president or a presidential candidate saying anything like that now, other than Trump? I can absolutely see Trump being like, that place is kind of faggy, if you ask me. But anyone else that's a politician? Hell no. That's damn, that's funny.
Yeah, because apparently what they do over there is they have, like, if they bring in the new people, then the older people will get to fuck them. Fuck them in the ass.
I don't know why anybody would ever go to Bohemian Grove, dude. That's fucking gross.
Well, put it in one way, like, if you agree to do something like that, then you can get favors like political jobs and whatnot. Like, if you go there...
If I've got the kind of money that I could fucking go to Bohemian Grove. I don't need their favors. I can buy my own.
Okay, but let's say you're a new politician, and you want to get in on something. You let them fuck you in the ass. You can get that big powerful job. Some of the people
I'm sure there's people who are into that or are willing to do that for power. I just can't imagine why anyone would be willing to put up with that. And I certainly wouldn't. But then that's probably why I'm not a fucking politician.
It's power and money for one thing. Like one example being Hollywood. They are well known for that. It's called the casting couch, obviously, and a lot of people who came from nothing. Because I've done some.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people who come from very fucking poor backgrounds who were like, well, I mean, it was an easy fucking choice.
Yeah, and then they end up getting these big, huge roles, and they get lots of money. And that's interesting. Sorry, the big loud bang. I have to go check that out.
All right.
So ultimately, Samaj is being murdered. Well, hopefully he'll at least get on long enough to be like, no, help me, call the police. We'll be like, send them where? We don't know where you live, buddy. Anyway, because we're good people. Yeah, Bohemian Grove, that whole thing is fucking gross, man. And that's like, from my house, you could easily drive to Bohemian Grove in 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's like if you want to go out to the coast, it's right along the way to the coast. You have to look at it. There's no other real easy way from here. I mean, unless you want to go a lot longer, to drive a lot longer.
But yeah, that shit seems just incredibly fucking decadent, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I worked with a guy whose mom was a maid there. And, the luxury there is over the fucking top. She never saw any of, the wacky rituals and shit. Or if she did, she just never told her son.
Right.
Possibly. But I would imagine a lot of that stuff goes on when the servants aren't there. Oh, no, are you getting murdered, too?
Oh, what the fuck?
Sorry about that.
Sorry, man. My headset caught on something and fucking got ripped out of my ears.
Oh, okay. I was worried that Samaj and you were both being murdered now.
No, someone was setting off fireworks. I don't know why, but...
Oh, yeah. I was saying to Dateswa, I worked with a guy whose mom was a maid at fucking Bohemian Grove. And either she never said anything about seeing any of the wacky rituals, or she just never was there when they happened. I'm assuming when they do that shit when the staff is all gone. Or there's only a few people that they know are going to be quiet. But as she said, the luxury there was insane. If you wanted 3 strawberries that were this specific shape and this specific size at the 6:13 a.m. with 2 ounces of this specific kind of yogurt, you would get exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, they must have an insane amount of. They must have an insane amount of shit that just spoils every day. Because everything is absolutely the top of the line. Absolutely the best. And they have to have everything in stock in case somebody.
People will bring their own chefs to cook for them, and it's just any number of crazy fucking over the top luxury things. It's nutty. It's nutty how fucking high luxury is.
Yeah, it's fucking.
And they will, and it doesn't even stop at just the food. They'll bring you whatever you want, gaming systems, movies, TVs. They'll put it all up in wherever you need it, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, anything and everything. It's all about decadence.
Yeah, no, we can't do that. It's just not an option.
There's an anime. I always recommend this when talking about the wealthy and the elites. It's called Speed Greifer. It's a 26 episode show from the early 90s. But I always recommend just watch it till about episode 4. After that, it gets bizarre, family weird. But the first bit, it's weird for me to say that because it's such a dark, fucked up kind of a show talking about the rich and powerful and what they do. And they got secret societies, and then you go inside. There's a big Satan statue. It's the kind of thing if you listen to Alex Jones talk about the wealthy and the elites, It's exactly how Alex Jones describes it. And when you talk about Bohemian Grove, it's exactly like Bohemian Grove.
Well, and as we've learned over the course of the years, Alex Jones is actually right most of the time.
Yep. Yep. I stopped listening, not because I'm not interested, but because if it's true, I don't want to know. It's too frightening even for me.
Yeah, at a certain point, you're happier not knowing about it.
Like, okay, like the frog, Terry the Frog Skate, that was one thing, but then he mentioned something else that I had to look into. It was like the cloned meat. Like when I learned that cloned meat is a thing, like it's predominantly an American thing. So like if you go to your grocery store, you get meat. I guarantee you, it's cloned meat, or at least
the rich are injecting themselves with the blood of children. Mm-hmm. Like that's a real fucking thing that happens. Happening.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
The super wealthy are injecting themselves with the blood of children to make themselves younger. Like that's fucking insane. That is a real fucking thing.
Well, and that's probably what Joe Biden used to help him stay sane during the debates, because he surprisingly did okay. But
I mean, now he's completely incapable of making a fucking sentence coherently.
Yeah, he's insane. He's absolutely he's clearly not fit for being the president.
Yeah. Now, whatever question he's asked, he's going to talk about how crazy it is that people think they drink the blood of children.
When I heard that,
you might not be drinking it, but you're injecting yourself with it.
Yeah.
Like when I heard him make that statement, I thought, Jesus Christ, Alex Jones was right about that too. That was such an insane thing. And it was about defunding the police. He talks about blood of children. Like, what? Why?
Yeah, that's why they're attacking the moral. Oh, go ahead.
Twice, like back to back, and neither of the times did it really have much to do with the fucking questions you got asked.
Because it's because you actually do drink the blood of children. Because otherwise, why the fuck would you be talking about that right now? Like,
I didn't really think that. And then the next question has nothing to do with that, but he brings it up again. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
Like,
sounds like somebody's got a guilty conscience.
Part of me is surprised that there isn't someone drawing a picture of Joe Biden as a vampire. But then again, that could have already happened.
Oh man, if the press wasn't so on his side, they would have been like, and they think we really do drink the blood of vampires. They'd be like, nah, because that's not what really happens. What happens is, and just wait for him to fill it in.
Worse than whatever you think it is.
Yeah, just see if they could trick him into filling in the answer. Because he's obviously out of his mind. Any real reporter would have been like, why the fuck did you say that, Joe? Like, what the fuck is going on that you feel the need to talk about drinking the blood of children? Because I didn't ask you about that. Like, oh, goddamn.
Maybe deep down he's just an old man saying stuff he shouldn't be saying. Or
maybe deep down
he has a guilty conscience. He's trying to come clean, but he's so senile he just can't.
I'm just saying, a real reporter would fucking follow up on that.
Yeah.
For any number of reasons, whether you thought any of those things were true, because you gave a lot of potential explanations that aren't drinking the blood of babies, obviously.
All I'm saying is
to fully show the insanity, or to show that he's completely mentally incompetent, or all those things. You would follow up on that as a reporter. That's all I'm saying.
Like, we have another 3 years of this nonsense. Donald Trump will have no end of material to fucking destroy Joe Biden. He almost doesn't have to say anything.
If Joe Biden isn't removed from office after another year, I'll be shocked. I don't think he's going to make it past the second year, but I think he'll make it close to it.
Well, I don't
think they'll pull him out of office that early.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, they're going to have to take him out sooner or later. It's becoming so apparent that he's delusional. Like there's no way.
Yeah. Well, it's probably going to be like what happened to Donald Trump. Like, after 2 years, the Republicans are probably going to take, the Senate? Or not the Senate, the House? Something like that. And then they'll restrict his powers.
And right now I think that the Senate is still controlled by Republicans. Or it's at least deadlocked. But they're definitely going to take the House back. The only reason they took the House in the last election was because of voter ballot fraud. All the people that lost the elections really didn't lose them, and it's all ballot fraud that just never got investigated in any way. Oh, Mr. Ting, thank you. Thank you, Turish.
Thank you, Turish. Yeah, the whole "you ain't black." Nobody forgot that comment. Yeah, that guy's doing really well for himself for making his little political comics.
Yeah, goddamn. And I'm afraid you ain't black. Oh, like the fucking Emperor from the fucking
Palpatine.
Yeah, like Emperor Palpatine, dude. Goddamn. I was gonna say from the original 3 Star Wars, because, like, you know, apparently Emperor Palpatine is the only villain ever.
Yeah.
Like, they even brought him back for the other ones, but made him, like, more of him, so that it was more... Because, like, the you know, the final 3 movies were all basically just the same as the first 3, but with, like, bigger things. It's like, we're not going to destroy a planet this time, we're going to destroy a sun. Because we have a bigger gun. And it's not on a moon, it's on a planet.
We made the whole planet into the fucking weapon.
Yeah, and it wasn't a moon, it was a planet, the gun, you know, and then it wasn't just Palpatine, it was multiple Palpatines.
Yeah, although to be fair on that regard, in the expanded universe in the books, that was his thing. There was lots of clones of Palpatine. That's how he stayed alive. So that was part of the original.
A bunch of clones that he could just inhabit. Yeah.
Well, the problem...
He could inhabit any of them.
He in the books he had said that the clones are fine, but he gets weaker and weaker after each clone. In other words, they're less and less able to sustain him, and so the goal was for him, because at that point Leia was pregnant with their second kid from Han Solo, and what he wanted Leia. That way he could, like, when he dies, he can just use his force power into the kid, and then just take over the kid's body, and then keep her isolated and inject her with shit and give birth to him, and then he will be
grow up again and start the whole process fresh. Yeah,
exactly, with all his memories intact, so he'd be like a child emperor.
Oh, that's a nice vampire Obama of Nostradamus. Thank you.
That is fucking sweet. That is cool.
Dude, that's fucking, yeah.
And it makes me wonder, was Obama in all this? He probably was.
Well, I mean, if Obama was injecting the blood of children to stay young, it did not fucking work.
Yeah, he really did seem to age like 25 years in the 8 years he was in office.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's really, really wealthy people. Like, each procedure costs like $8,000. And I doubt fucking your medical coverage for your job is going to cover that.
Blood of children?
The blood of children.
That would be fucking hilarious. If it was, that would be fucking hilarious.
It's just like a weird, tiny print that most people just don't realize. So you go down to your doctor, I want the blood of children. They're like, all right, I guess we got to.
Yeah, we'll cover 80%.
It's hard to believe that vampires are the president of the United States.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, it's not vampires. See, the thing is like, the wealth gap at this point is so fucking drastic that it's more than it was between the slaves in Egypt and the pharaohs. Like, that's insane.
Hey, Trish.
Yeah,
what's up, Mr. Trish?
Oh, I'm tired.
Oh, yeah. So you thought you'd come on here and listen to this conversation about vampires?
Because we'll put you to sleep, don't worry. We're good at that. We're so entertaining. We'll knock you right out, sir.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're better than ASMR, dude.
I never got ASMR.
Every time I hear ASMR now, I'm going to see that clip of that one fucking E-Thought on Twitch, like in a weird yoga pants, jamming the fucking ear microphone in her butt. Like...
I thought you were talking about the horse mask.
I think she was wearing a horse mask when she did it, and then the chat just all started chanting fart.
Yes, fart.
Yeah, and she's like ramming it. Like, she didn't actually stick it up her ass. She was wearing pants, but she was jamming it in her butt, like, with the pants on.
She was wearing a Spider-Gwen onesie.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds like the internet.
Sounds like Samaj has done a lot of research on this. He's got a lot of specifics.
No, I just watched. I just watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So I mean, most people would know that.
Oh, would recognize the outfit. Yeah, I just remember the clip in the ear microphone and going, "Oh God," and shaking my head and closing my eyes because I didn't want to see anymore. Like, just like no, because it was like It's a Gundam did a video on it that was pretty funny.
I know the costume because I've read far more comics than I'd like to admit.
Fair enough. I haven't read the comics, but I do know that that's not canon.
What, Spider-Gwen?
I don't think Spider-Gwen at any point put on a horse mask and then started trying to ram an ear microphone in her butt while she was wearing the costume.
I don't know, not yet. I mean,
give it time. You're right. Good point. Give it time.
But they keep letting these fucking weirdos write the comics to save money.
Oh God!
Can't be far from happening.
Everything's been so bad lately. Like you get a couple
for like a good fucking 5 years, right? I mean, Jesus,
yeah.
Dude.
Well, they're trying to rewrite culture. So what they're trying to do is the reason they're not making new things is they want to erase our mythology. Like our modern mythology is like movies and books and TV and stuff like that. So they're trying to erase our modern mythology and replace it with garbage because they want to force their ideals on everyone. Like that's their thing. Oh, thank you so much. That's what I fucking wanted to see, a fat fucking goth bitch flying with a cell phone.
I was gonna bring this up. The I'm Not Starfire shit. And you guys actually read that thing? I've kind of seen people kind of read through it. But yeah, that's Starfire's daughter, Stabby, if you're not familiar.
No, I know what that's from.
The graphic novel is called I'm Not Starfire. And apparently, like, this chick is beyond just being like a little fat, constantly stuffing her face shit. She's a totally unlikable cunt to like everybody.
Yeah.
Or
they seem to really be stuck on anybody that's cool is just an asshole to everybody. And it's like that's not right. Like,
well, and they keep saying like the F word so many times in the book because one of the goals is they want to sell it to librarians, and because she says "fuck" so many times, like the librarians aren't going to get it, comic book fans aren't going to get it, new readers aren't going to get it. So this is a waste of paper. This is just the only ones who are going to buy this and talk about it are people who make YouTube channels about comics.
Honestly, if people would just stop talking about these kind of things, they would probably just disappear overnight. In a lot of cases, because nobody has any interest in them at all. Like they're not selling to anybody.
Well, and there's almost no point in being a comic book person because the other thing that we found out, and I don't know if you heard about this, but the artist who worked on this was only getting paid $20 a page.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with the artists and with the writers, dude. They're hiring people that are willing to work for fucking peanuts.
Oh God! Well, the writing shows. Like I just watched Raya and the Last Dragon, which is a new Disney movie that's out. And
it's garbage, isn't it?
The message that you get from the movie is that abusive people are good and you should trust them.
Yep.
Because like the whole thing is about these dragons that staved off this race of weird ghost things that turn everybody to stone. And they did it by leaving this gem behind. All the dragons were gone. Like the last dragon that used the gem to lock away all these things so they couldn't hurt people anymore. Like just banished them from the realm of existence. Disappeared, and then all they had left was this gem and a bunch of dragons that had been turned to stone and like trying to fight them off. And then all the humans that were turned to stone and got turned back by this gem as well. And so like the humans were just like fighting over this gem because humans fight each other for everything. Even though the gem didn't actually do anything for anybody, just as long as it existed, it kept those things from being in reality again. So one group of people, like one nation is protecting it, and the main character is the daughter of the king of that nation. And she gets tricked by a girl and then attacked and beat up by the girl into showing her where the gem is so the girl can try to steal it for her country, while her dad and all the other rulers are trying to talk about like potentially getting a peace thing going, like not being at war all the time. So she gets beat up and betrayed by the girl once there, and then every time she sees the girl after that, and like they're showing like, cause she went to try to find the last dragon to try to like fix it because the stone got broken in the fight. Every time she sees the girl after that, the girl tries to beat her up or kill her. Then they decide to trust her, and she betrays them yet again, killing the last dragon. Right? Like, actually killing the dragon that supposedly can actually solve everything by putting the gem back together and is the only potential way to save the world. Just so that she could steal the other pieces of the gem back. But then at the very end, the only way they can save the world is by trusting that girl who's done all these horrible fucking things. It makes
That's
no
the
sense.
Shittiest plot I've ever fucking heard, dude. Like, who the hell? What human beings would make that many mistakes?
Why is that something you want
bitch.
children to learn? That's fucking awful. That is the worst fucking message I've ever heard for children.
Well, I think the part of the problem is that when Disney, because you have to remember these movies take a long time to make. It was like one of the projects they did after they were done doing the ones they were already contractually obligated to do with John Lasseter, because they fired John Lasseter. And he's the head honcho of animation for Disney. And so when he got fired, and then they finished all the projects they were working on, they had to do their own stuff. And Raya was one of the first ones they did. And you can tell these are a bunch of people who have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I think what happened in the writing process was they didn't realize what any of that was going to come out like in the end, and they really wanted to make the bad guy look really bad and badass because she was a chick. And so they had her do all these horrible things, and it's like, yes, but then at the end, if you trust her and there's never been anything that shows any possible chance of redemption in any of her actions ever, all you're doing is making a film about abusive relationships being A-okay and awesome. Like, that's all you're really doing. Because there are all these weird sexual sort of fucking innuendos between the two main characters, because they're both girls, and that was kind of weird for a fucking kids movie in my mind.
Of course it was, but they're trying to normalize that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that really bothered me about that is that that movie, in order to see that on Disney Plus, you needed $30 once.
Yeah, oh, well, that's a whole lawsuit going on about that right now with the Black Widow movie.
Yeah, with Scarlett Johansson.
And Disney's got to be real fucking worried because all those numbers are going to come out.
Yep. Well, so, like, okay, so you had Raya, you needed $30 to pay. That was a Disney movie. But there was another movie that came out recently called Luca, and that was a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
And like, because Disney and Pixar, they work together and all that.
Yeah.
But that's one of the older projects that they had in the back catalog. But they finally finished that one and got it out there. But because it was a Pixar movie, that was available for free on Disney Plus. But if you wanted to see Raya, you had to pay $30. And
it's not surprising that people wouldn't expect to pay an extra $30 to see movies on a subscription service they're already paying like $30 a month for.
That's right.
Like, and why on earth would you think people would be willing to just double up the fucking price per month just to see shit? Like, that's dumb.
Yep. Well, in the movie that they would pay for, like the revenue for that movie would go towards the people who worked on it, obviously. But the guys at Pixar, they didn't get any. So they feel a little shortchanged. And of course, like we were mentioning earlier with the whole Black Widow thing, the streaming stuff isn't making them any money. Well,
they're not doing it right. Like, you charged $30 fucking dollars. Even with cable TV, when you could like buy movies that were still in theaters, like you could never do it like within the first couple of weeks. But usually by the third or fourth week a movie was out, you could pay-per-view it for like $5-6. You know, if it was a really big movie, it might be like $10, but that was the most they ever charged. It's like, and that's more reasonable, because otherwise, if it's $30, you might as well go see it in the theater, and if you weren't going to go see it in the theater, you're not going to spend the same amount of money to see it at home. Like, it's usually why people don't see things in theaters, is it's too expensive, and they don't want to spend the time, you know?
Yep.
So that's why Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney?
Yeah, the claim is, and it's not an incorrect claim. It's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Is that part of her pay, part of her compensation for making that film, was she got like I think $20 million up front, and then she was going to make a piece of all the profit. And them choosing not to only release it in the theaters meant that the amount of money that they made was substantially lower than it could have been. So essentially, like their bad decision making, and all the numbers are going to come out because there were like 3 or 4 films that were released before that the same exact thing happened. So there's no way they didn't know that was going to be a problem.
Well, and not just that, she also gets a portion of the toy sales, like the merchandise sales. That also goes into paying off the other half of the contract.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is with the toy stuff is that because the movie was delayed, but the stores already paid for the merchandise. So they got the merchandise that's already on store shelves, but the movie ain't coming out for another year after the whole COVID thing. So they lost a whole huge whack of money from that. And Scarlett Johansson in particular didn't see it. Like, you can go to Walmart, you can find Shang-Chi toys, because they're already out and about. They're already on discount. Because they've been on the shelves for like over a year. And the movie isn't even out yet.
Yeah, I would never have thought of that because I never get involved in. I've never been an action figure guy. Like I never bought any. I bought like Transformers when I was a kid, but I never really got into like the collecting those characters or any of that stuff.
Because usually like when you have a big budget movie, there's going to be tie-in merchandise and that merchandise all goes towards recouping the cost for actually making the movie.
Yeah.
But, like I said, like the movie didn't come out until like it was heavily delayed, and then it comes out on Disney Plus. It should have been out in theaters because ever since it was available for streaming, there was no repeat viewing. Because a lot of people who are big into, like myself, I'm a big Marvel guy. If it's a good movie, I'll go see it like 2 to 3 times. Because if it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, love those movies. I'll gladly go back and see it multiple times. But it wasn't in theaters it's still in theaters now, but like, why would I? I can see it on Disney Plus. I can just stay home. So it's like
no, you would never go see it at home unless there were enough people watching it that it would be less expensive to watch it on Disney streaming than in a theater.
Yeah, probably. Like I could
because if you can spend like $15-$20 and see a flick in the theater, or $30 to watch it at home, you're going to spend the $20 to see it in the theater. It's a better experience anyway.
Well, yeah, and I like going to movies, going to see movies with my friends. Like Suicide Squad's coming out next week. I'm looking forward to
another Suicide Squad movie? Or is it a reboot?
A little bit of both. This one's being done by James Gunn, so the guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy, so this is going to be a good movie.
Yeah, I've heard people that have already seen it. However, I don't know how they've seen it already, but I've heard that this one's actually pretty good.
Well, they have early screening things for various different people, like influencers. Like, I thought it was coming out like last Thursday, because that's when it was listed. I thought, that Thursday's the first day to get it out there, and then after that it'll be the weekend. It'll be in there for everyone. I was totally wrong on that one. I didn't plan out until afterwards. It was an early screening. So made plans with my buddies. We're all going next weekend. Fuck yeah, Suicide Squad. Let's go. So I just gotta wait for the time, and then it's off we go. What sucks though is that my friends, they like to go see it at the downtown mall, but that for some reason that theater isn't opening until September or early October, which is weird.
Damn.
It's like they're gonna miss the summer rush. So okay then, I guess. So it's off the.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I would say there's probably a lot of stuff that basically got fucked by COVID. So, I mean, even still, like, I'm sure, even that is still suffering some, like, that's partly, because of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Anyway, Suicide Squad, looking forward to that.
I kind of want to see that, yeah.
Oh, dude, I've seen the trailers, so yeah, this looks good. Let's go for it.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailers. I should go check that out.
Oh, go for it.
I guess they're introducing a couple of new characters. What's the one called? Is it the Rat Catcher? It's Rat something.
I don't know.
From DC.
Yeah, they're playing a bunch of nobodies. Like, there's some spotted guy. I've heard of him. He's one of those forgettable Batman villains.
Yeah.
Polka Dot, I think that's his name.
I think, yeah, that might be it.
Whoa, really? Polka Dot?
Yes.
Oh god, that's one thing of the DC villains, dude. I don't know, man. They're just fucking silly, dude. There's too many of them that are just fucking silly, dude.
Yeah.
It depends on how they're done. Like, I think Batman has some
Music Meister.
Some of them are weird. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you ever play any of the Arkham games, those are all Batman villains. Every single one of them is fucking cool.
Yeah, Killer Croc.
Yeah,
fucking really Scarecrow. Scarecrow's pretty badass. And I'm not saying they don't have fucking good characters, but they got a lot of silly ones too, dude, in my opinion.
All comic book movies got silly villains.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, Joker is one of the more iconic
higher.
villains, and that's DC, but at the same time, yeah, there's a lot of fucking... There's Nega Flash. I mean, just the number of, like... It's the same as the hero, but with a different fucking, like, color outfit.
He wears a yellow suit with a red lightning bolt.
Yeah, it's like a lot of that is like, all right, that's kind of dumb. I don't know about that.
I don't know if any of you seen any clips from the new Flash episodes, but they look fucking horrendous.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like, for some reason, it like, I've heard good things about the show, but the latest episodes look like CGI effects from the early 90s. It's that bad.
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Keep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Suicide Squad looks good. There was an animated DC movie called Assault on the Arkham. That was also a Suicide Squad movie. It was actually one of the better animated movies. I'd say give it a watch.
Yeah, well, dude, any of the Batman games, I guess they pretty much all take place in and around Arkham, right? I mean, they have the Arkham City or whatever, but it's usually something in Arkham Asylum, right?
Well, yeah, the first game was Arkham Asylum, and then the second game they said like the criminal element was so big, they built a wall around part of Arkham and designated it like Arkham City.
Yeah, and just let them all rule themselves, essentially.
Which is just, you look at it's a very silly concept, but it's a comic book based game, so go for it, I guess.
Actually, that's not that silly, dude. That's an interesting concept, dude, in my opinion.
Well, I mean,
to have them just walled off and let them fucking, govern themselves and see what happens.
I mean, that's essentially the best comparison we could have is like California, just walled off and let the crazies handle themselves. Sorry.
Yeah, see how you do on your own, fuckers. One of the economy that's bigger than all but like 8 countries, but you're still somehow bankrupt all the fucking time.
It's that Gavin Newsom, that guy. Get that guy out. He's a psychopath.
Good Lord.
It's pretty fucking...
Well,
you did actually recall him, didn't you?
Well, yeah, the recall's going through. That means the election's going to happen soon. So, but be careful. I mean, they're going to spend, because they use taxpayer money because he's in charge. So.
Oh, you're talking about Gavin Newsom?
Yep.
Yeah, he's already trying to claim that it's racist and that they're doing it because they want to keep black people from voting.
I heard that, and the guy
and they filed a lawsuit that they're definitely going to win, but it won't matter. Like the damage is done.
I forget the guy who was running against him, the black dude. He's like, I don't think I'm a racist.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's.
Well, then you're an Uncle Tom.
Yeah, if you're not a racist, you're an Uncle Tom, and you're working with the racists. Because racists are well known for being very discerning on the ones they hate. It's not that they hate everybody of that race. They just hate everybody that's not on their side from that race. Because that's how racism works. I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense at all, but, whatever. It's apparently not anything that nobody fucking thinks for more than 2 fucking seconds anymore.
Yep.
It's interesting. We were talking about all these comic book stuff, so I was looking at like Legos, and none of their best sellers are any of the new shit except for the Baby Yoda. Like, there's some Star Wars stuff from The Mandalorian, but everything else is like rocket ships and Harry Potter. Like, there's a couple of really nice cars, and that's it. You know,
I was excited for Mandalorian, and part of me wanted to get like some Lego sets of that because I do actually like putting together the Legos.
Yo, I love Legos. Yeah, I'll buy every once in a while. I'll buy like a little $20 or $30 set and just put it together for the fun. You know.
Exactly, but the spoilers saying who hasn't seen the Mandalorian season 2, but fucking the ship gets blown up. That's one.
No.
Yeah, it's a ship that everyone fucking loves, and they blow it up. And what bothered me, or what bothered a lot of people, because they'd already pre-ordered this big $300 statues. So when those come out, people like to display them. I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, the ship gets blown up. You spent all this money for it.
Ooh, you can buy a Lego haunted house building kit for $250. It's like a generic haunted house. It's not like anything specific. Oh no, it looks like it's the Disney one. It's like a Lego Disney one. It looks like it's probably a good 3 feet tall and like 2 feet wide when you're done with it. But $250 for that shit.
My nephew got like this big $200 Lego submarine, and it's like it's pride and joy because it's fucking huge, expensive, and it is waterproof.
Damn, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it was a big expensive thing, and he takes it, he puts it into underwater just to see it work.
Dude, fucking Lego's awesome, dude. Lego builds all sorts of cool shit.
Yeah, but it's so fucking expensive, dude.
It's one of the few things I think children should have, you know?
Okay, so this kid, he's making like a town or city square. He wants buildings. He's trying to create a little Lego city. Expensive, dude. Expensive. Like, just buildings alone.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised.
$50 to $60. You want a skyscraper? That's gonna set you back at least $150. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
But it also doesn't help that the price of plastic is going up because our politicians are trying to go green, so they want us to get off oil and gas, and one of the byproducts from oil and gas is plastic.
I don't know how plastic is. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. That's weird.
Yeah, so they're trying to cut back on all that. Like, I go to my local grocery store, like a Safeway, and they're going like paper or bring your own bags. I'm like, they tried this once, like back in the early 2000s, and it didn't go well.
Here's one of those things. Like, they did that in California, right? Like, they said no plastic bags. You have to bring your own, and then you got to pay like a heavy fee for bags. But now, like, everybody's getting plastic bags again, but they're just more expensive.
Yeah,
like,
they're
they
trying
cost
to
more. It's so fucking bizarre.
Yeah, enjoy your bags. Now you're gonna suffer for your convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll make you pay for it. Like they did that too. They have to offset the cost. For me, it was like 10 cents a bag.
Yeah, that's what we paid, 10 cents a bag. It was like 5 cents a bag for the first little while. Now it's 10 cents a bag, and everybody gets these plastic bags all the time. Because of COVID, nobody wants to fucking take their reusable bags anymore.
Yeah.
Although, let me tell you, if you are in a city or a state or whatever, and they like do that bullshit with that, just go on Amazon and you can buy like half a dozen bags for like $20, and then never have to pay a dime with your groceries. It'd save you a lot of money over the fucking what do you call it? Over the over a couple of months, it'll pay for itself essentially.
Like for us, we tend to forget that we have to bring the bags. We just sort of, leave them because we use them for other things as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, they're handy to have around. The canvas bags you buy off of Amazon are super handy. Like, it's great if you're going out to the beach or you're going to a park and you want to bring some shit, or Yeah.
Like the problem with the canvas bags is that they do wear out over time, and then they break. So they're not like 100% durable.
Oh, the ones I got. So I got from Amazon for the ones I got. Like I don't think a single one of them is broken, and we've had them for like at least 2 or 3 years now. Because we bought them a year or two before COVID started. And of course, now we get all our groceries. Like we just show up and they load them in our car, so we don't have to actually worry too much. But you know, like, yeah. Oh, that's a trip. But I got a set before that were really cheap, but those were recyclable. They were like a weird sort of canvasy, plasticky thing that you can just throw in your recycle bin when they're not good anymore. But that was like a dozen for like $5. And I'd say they lasted a good year before there was any real issues with them. But the regular canvas ones, I've never seen those like give out.
That's good.
Oh, they have Overwatch
you have to pay
Legos.
for the bags, Stabby?
What do you mean, like the canvas
Stabby,
bags?
when they bring you the groceries out, do you have to pay for the bags?
Yeah, 10 cents a
At
bag.
the grocery store when you get an order.
Yeah, 10 cents a bag on the receipt.
Yeah, that always freaked me out. But you know what? I will give them this. Those are decent, really good, heavy-duty fucking bags that they give you.
Super heavy-duty
for 10 cents. Yeah, like the ones you get here, we don't have to pay for them, but they're fucking shitty. Like, you know, if you're putting like two liters in, you have to double bag it. And the ones you get in California, like you can easily put a 2 liter in there. It's no, two liters, and it's no fucking problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one good thing about it.
I've noticed that about half of the orders we get, they charge us for 2 or 3 extra bags that we don't get.
Oh wow.
So that's one of those things where it's like, fucking come again there, partner?
Yeah, that's really nickel and diming you. Goddamn. Fucking literally.
It's pretty fucking gross.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Although I guess it adds up, you know.
Oh,
You're
okay.
doing that to every fucking customer.
I'm passing out, so I'm gonna go to bed.
All right, later, man.
You don't want to stick around for the.
I was already starting to yawn myself, so.
All right, yeah, thanks for sticking by, brother.
No problem. Good night.
Stopping
Good night, all.
Good night. Peace out.
Peace out.
All right, yeah. We should probably find something more interesting to talk about then.
Plastic bags.
Yeah, grocery bags. Oh fuck.
Oh man. I'm so fucking. I gotta stop looking at these Legos. I'm so fucking lost in those. I'm gonna end up buying them if I don't stop looking now. Like the little kid in me is like, oh, that'd be like so fun to put together for like an hour and a half. It's like, but that would cost you $60.
You're actually open the boxes, dude? You're a criminal.
For
dude.
Legos?
You're supposed to never play with them, dude, and keep them in their shrink wrap.
Oh, fuck no. the one I found that I like right now, the one that it really looks cool to me, let me load it in there, is this fucking $60 pirate ship thing. And it's like a fucking $60 ship in a bottle Lego building kit. You tell me that does not look fucking awesome.
Sounds fucking cool as hell.
Yeah,
that is pretty fucking cool, dude.
Right? You feel yourself wanting to fucking put that in your cart, right? You're like, well, I should put that in my cart right now.
Fuck yeah, I have to have that.
Like, how would I not?
Yeah, you'd be crazy not to.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, and if it was me, dude, I would be tempted. And I'd be like, all right, I have to get 2 because I have to save one for, and never open it. And then I got to get one to actually play with.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, God, I feel that pain. I feel that pain so hard.
Jesus. Do you want a Pirates of the Caribbean Lego? the Silent Mary. You want to build that for $400?
I don't know. Pirate ships aren't my thing.
Oh, I just was the price of it was insane. Like $400 for a fucking Lego kit. Like, goddamn, dude.
Yeah. When I was a kid, if only I had gotten 2 copies of the gold cartridge Zelda instead of just one, then stupidly opened it and played it.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that's starting to come back in super expensive. The fucking old Nintendo.
Dude, that thing
games.
is sold for like $5,000. Like if you get one that's in the original shrink wrap, never played, it's like $5 fucking grand, dude.
God damn.
Yeah. Dude, I fucking can never remember what the fuck happened to all like my original Nintendo or all the games or my N64 and all those games. I never know what the fuck. I can never remember what the fuck happened to any of them, but they're gone.
Oh,
it's fucking
yeah.
really frustrating.
With all the Nintendo stuff, I know what happened to that. We still have a lot of it just sitting on the fucking shelf in the family room. Like they're not all in brand new shape. They're super old. Like we don't have a Nintendo anymore, but we have like a bunch of the Nintendo games just sitting in there. But I did before the guy ghosted me because I think his girlfriend didn't like me. A friend of mine had a working Nintendo with a bunch of the old games, and it was kind of fun to go over and hang out with that dude. And we'd like play old fucking Nintendo games. The only weird thing is he's like dude, 10 years younger than me. Like he's probably about 32 right now. Like he's just a little less than 10 years younger than me, and that was crazy. Like he didn't grow up playing those, so, but he still loved them, so it was kind of neat.
Yeah, like when you watch an Angry Video Game Nerd video, all the shit that he has in the fucking background, like old Atari games, old Nintendo games, like just
I sold my fucking Atari when I was a kid to get Nintendo games. Like I sold it in a garage sale for like $20 to help save up for Nintendo games. And that's one of those things I fucking regret because that was a great fucking. That'd be so nice to have now, but you know I didn't fucking understand when I was a kid like the potential.
Yeah, I don't understand that shit.
So I don't kick myself too hard over it. It's just one of those things where I'm like, oh man, I just kind of wish I still had that because those games were awfully fun and they would be a lot of fun to play now on an old Atari.
Yeah. I feel that way about the. There's got to be Atari emulators out there, right? I mean, there's an emulator for pretty much everything.
Yep.
Yeah, because I've definitely played a lot of the Nintendo emulator shit, or the arcade. Dude, the arcade emulators. I haven't done that in a long time, but that was the fucking greatest thing ever, dude.
Oh, the arcade.
What is it? MAME? The
MAME.
MAME thing. Yeah, that shit was fucking amazing, dude. Like, you could just play any arcade game you ever want. All you gotta do is hit F5 to put coins in. You know, fucking tap that shit like crazy. Yeah, because there was a game called Super Off-Road.
Yep.
Dude, Super Off-Road, like in the arcade, it was fucking impossible because you had to have a shitload of quarters to, you know, use a nitro boost and upgrade your engine and shit. But you're playing that on a fucking emulator. Again, all you got to do is hit F5 to put it, you know, a bunch of quarters in, dude. Makes it a lot more fun.
That does sound. Yeah, you don't have to spend the quarters. I was watching
exactly.
A gaming stream that Gundam has for his gaming streams that he's got on YouTube, and they were playing an old arcade game port that had been ported to computer, and they were wondering, like, they're like, man, this is so hard, we die so often, I don't understand, like, what is going on? It's old game designs. I'm like, well, yeah, because those old games were never meant to be played at home. They were meant to fucking cost a quarter.
Yeah, and then to have to put more quarters to continue and fucking all that shit. Yep. So
they wanted you to fucking have to do it. There's an NES Lego system I put a link to in the Discord. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Since we were talking about Nintendo NES, I was like, I wonder if fucking Lego's got Nintendo.
Of course.
Oh, they got an old Steamboat Willie, but it's $143. Fuck that noise.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Legoland is one of the parks, like a kid's park, that I actually enjoyed. I've never been there, but that's one of those places I would actually kind of like to go. I'd love to go see like Legoland and all the crazy shit they got there. Yeah, dude, it's pretty fucking cool, dude. I mean, the rides there are for, they're for kids. So, like, even the roller coasters are pretty fucking lame. But yeah, dude, just seeing all the different Legos and shit. Dude, they have like a fucking an X-Wing made out of Legos. Like, life-size X-Wing. It's fucking huge, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, some of the stuff that people make with Legos is absolutely out of this world.
Yeah. They have a bunch of, like, different little cities and shit, and fucking... Yeah, it's pretty
a lot of that stuff gets shown at conventions, like random cons and stuff, or like comic book stuff, or other kinds of cons that are they'll have like a lot of Lego displays for some of that stuff. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Oh, I want this Lego set, but it's $200. It's like an old VW camper van you can put together.
Oh wow. The fucking microbus.
Yeah, but it looks like it's a lot bigger.
I can feel your nostalgia. I can feel your nostalgia through your voice.
Palpable.
It's palpable.
It's taken form.
Oh my
god.
gosh.
My god, it's like me and my fucking game collections. Holy shit. A couple weeks ago, I went and I was going to pick up something, I forget what. But when I was there, I saw King of Fighters 11 there. And it wasn't expensive. It's like, ooh, I gotta get this. I'm thinking it's like, oh man, I already own King of Fighters 11. And I look again. It's the imported Japanese version. And I'm just thinking it's like, nope, now I have to get this thing. Yeah.
The weeb in me will not allow me to not get this.
Oh god. I mean, my import collection is okay. My North American collection is a creme de la creme.
Look, boys love their toys, man.
Oh, we do. Fuck. I really gotta like just record some video of some of the stuff because just so many amazing games, so much shitty voice acting, so just great experiences.
Oh man, there's too many options out there, man.
Yeah,
too many
I fucking
options.
miss that shit.
Oh, yeah, there's too much today. It's absolutely nuts.
Oh, that's surprising. There's a Lego Mini or Lego Millennium Falcon that's only $150. It's 1,351 pieces. Damn. But I'm surprised it's that cheap. Like, I would have assumed that would be like extremely expensive. Oh wow, $570 for the Simpsons house with all the Simpsons.
Wow.
It looks like you get like Flanders and his family. Or no, just Flanders. For some reason as well. Like, you get the house and all the main Simpsons characters, and then Flanders for no apparent reason. He just shows the fuck up because he won't leave them alone. Apparently.
Well, it's basically it's just the immediate family and then Flanders.
Yeah,
So you know what I mean. The
that
Simpsons
comes
family.
with the Lego Simpsons house, and it's their home, like the Simpsons house. Just for whatever reason, Flanders is there, and he's gonna barbecue. That's it.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, he is the next door neighbor, so
I don't watch it anymore, so I don't know if that's become even more of a thing. I just remember that he used to fucking what do you call it? Show up all the time, or just be there as like an irritant all the time.
Yeah. Ah, damn. I don't know why, but that kind of jogged my memory. That one episode when there was like some guy, like a FBI guy or something, that was talking with Homer, and he basically said like, "Yeah, no, if somebody's invading your home and they're on your property, yeah, you can totally take them out." And then he's like, "Hey, Flanders, come on over," right? And he's sitting there like getting ready to sock Flanders in the face, and the guy's like, "It doesn't work if you invite him in." And he's like, "All right, go away, Flanders." He's like, "I did hey." He's like, "Go away, go home."
Oddly hi there, neighbor. You know, wasn't there like a religion people started, the Flanders religion?
I'd never heard that, but it would not. It wouldn't surprise me in the fucking least, dude.
Oh, that's hilarious. There's like a Lego bonsai tree, and it comes with 2 kinds of foliage. So you can have either like pink leaves like a cherry blossom tree, or just green leaves like a regular tree. So you can change your fucking Lego bonsai tree seasons.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh my god.
There is a Ned Flanders metal band where all the members are Ned Flanders called Oakley Dokley.
Oh, that's fucking terrible. I fucking love it.
Terrible. It's terrible and wonderful at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Really
thinking. Man. It's glorious and horrifying.
Yeah.
They all
It's
dressed up
gloriously
like him
awful.
too.
Fucking crazy.
Wow.
Music's okay.
$350 for a fucking Lego grand piano, just a very large grand piano.
Like a life-size one?
No, it looks like it's
About
about the size of a Chihuahua. To give you a frame of reference, it's Chihuahua sized. Because everybody knows how big a Chihuahua is.
Mm-hmm. Does it actually give the scale on that kind of shit for the Legos?
Yeah. Here,
Yeah,
I'll post the link, and then if you look on the side, the left side, there's all the little pictures. In almost every one of the advertisement, there's a picture of somebody holding or putting pieces together to show that they can do the Lego kit, to show size. And also, if you look at the number of pieces, that'll give you an idea.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if they actually listed the scale. Like, this is 1/20th scale.
Oh!
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I didn't actually look.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I was just mildly curious.
Oh, it gives you, it's 8.5 inches high and 12 inches wide. And 13.5 inches deep. And that's when it's closed. It's taller when it's open. Because, like grand pianos have that lid that opens up to let the acoustics, let the sound out.
Yeah.
Oh, $400 for the whole Harry Potter Hogwarts castle. Damn.
It seems like for period of time. No, I was just gonna say it got me on it got me thinking about the pianos and shit. And I remember the house where my dad grew up, where my grandmother lived, his mother, father. They had an upright piano, but nobody really played the piano.
Oh yeah, weird.
And I was thinking, it was kind of weird. It seemed like that happened kind of a lot, at least up through the early '80s or whatever. Like, a lot of people would just have a piano in their house.
Yeah, the place me and my friends rented in '98 when I was just turned 18, and I moved out with a couple of guys I knew as roommates. She had a fucking baby grand piano, just in the living room. And she left it in the living room when she fucking went to go take care of her mom, because she was only renting the house out for a little while with 3 fucking 18, 19, and 20-year-old guys.
Sounds like a solid fucking...
Yeah, it was. She was out of her fucking mind. The little that we did so little damage is astonishing.
Yeah.
Because
holy shit, the piano survived.
The piano was fine. The piano was absolutely fine. The wiring that went to the garage door opener, I used packing straps to hold a punching bag up in the garage over the beam where the wiring was, and the packing straps wore through the wiring. So that I eventually shorted out, and it just the garage door opener worked fine. We just had to plug the light in the garage door into a different outlet with extension cords that we fucking duct taped up there. Nice. And
god damn, dude.
At one point, one window in one of the bedrooms doors broke. But that was about it. As far as damage, everything else was fine.
Kids that age.
We had one plumbing issue where some idiot that fucking flushed a paper towel down the toilet. We don't know I don't know who it was. I know it wasn't me because I'm not fucking retarded. Everybody, learns at like the age of like, I don't know, fucking 5. That paper towels don't go down the damn toilet.
Why the fuck would you be? Why would there be paper towels anywhere near the?
I don't even have any idea. Like, keep in mind, like one of the guys, I had to teach how to run laundry.
All right, I'm fading. I think I'm gonna hop out.
All right, adios, Turish.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Good talking to you.
Yeah, you
Talk
too,
to you
man.
again.
Yeah.
He's really out of it. Go to bed, young man.
Yeah, go sleepy. Bye.
No, young man,
All right, later, bro.
I'm gonna make Daytwa sing you. What do you call those?
Lullaby.
Lullabies. Yeah, if you don't.
You better be asleep by the time I get to the second line, though, because I fucking can't remember the lyrics.
Yeah, it's more frustrating than comforting. Trust me.
All right. Let's just let him go. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Night.
Later, man.
Oh my god.
It's like he was kept hanging on because we kept talking. I'm like, all right, dude, get the hell out of here, man.
Oh, I was having fun
obvious.
making it like ridiculously like not fucking ending. I thought we were both doing that intentionally.
I was feeling bad
I'm sorry.
for him. You could fucking tell that he was exhausted, like he was genuinely fucking almost passing out.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one that was just fucking with him. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, for a little, dude, but I was like, all right, dude, he's literally passing out. Gotta let him go.
Oh man, poor guy.
But I like where your head's at.
I'm an asshole, dude. I've never denied that. I think everybody's aware that I'm an ass.
Yeah, we gotta start trying to do that to Samaj, but he's a quick little fucker, man.
Yeah, no, he's like, I gotta go by.
I gotta go by. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
He's way too quick for us to fuck with him. I thought for sure Satan was gonna show up, dude. He fucking messaged me. Oh shit, I didn't. He messaged me back after.
He's working in a bar now, so a lot of the time we're on, he's at work. Just so times just don't work out.
Yeah, no, I know. I was giving him shit about it though.
Yeah.
Because he actually messaged me first, like at about 8:30, I think. Yeah, 8:28. He says he was preempting me sending him the fucking inspirational quote. So he sent me a thing that says, "The stream starts in a while. Remember that if you don't try, you're a loser, but if you try, you're a failure." He says, "Just stay home and give up on life." It's like, all right.
Oh no.
So then I replied back to him. I'm like, you haven't been on much lately, and I feel like we're growing apart. I barely want to annoy you with inspirational quotes anymore. So yeah, I said I barely want to annoy you with inspirational quotes anymore.
Oh, poor Satan. When you don't even want to bother him
send
anymore.
him one. I gave him shit because he didn't. Because when I send them to him, I'll attribute to whoever the author was.
Ah, okay.
So I gave him shit for not doing that, and I'm like, I'll just assume the author was Mulatto Jesus. Yeah. Then I actually sent him one, and it's really bad. It's this one. The inspirational quote was, "Try to be like the turtle, at ease in your own shell." Bill Copeland. Whoever the fuck Bill Copeland was.
Selling some copium, some high-grade copium right there, sir.
Then I followed it up with, "See what I mean? I sent that, but my heart really wasn't in it."
Yeah.
He responded about an hour later with, "Quit being a pussy."
That's a fair.
And that's it. Yeah,
that's a fair response to that.
Yeah. I feel we're growing apart. I don't know why. It just fucking made me laugh. I feel like I don't know you anymore.
I don't know you.
Hardly ever come around.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I want them to enact another lockdown just wherever he lives.
Just where he lives.
Yeah, the ability to come back on the show. Now you got to come back on the show. You got nothing better to do, fucker.
All right, I might have ordered 3 Lego sets.
Jesus, dude.
I might have fucking done it. They were like $20.
That's cool, dude. I probably would have done the same.
I had
That's
to
why,
fucking do it.
with having no money, it really helps avoid those temptations when you can't, you don't have money to buy it.
True. To be fair, I do have a little bit of extra money because of the fucking COVID extra pay thing.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Well, and I finally managed to pay off like my whole credit card. I mean, I bought that stupid laptop on it, but I paid off half of that already. Like the month after I bought it. So, and with this next, either this next check or the one after that, I should probably have paid off that too. So I'll be happy with that. It's nice. It's nice having money in savings and not owing a bunch of money on credit cards and like loans and shit. It's like really fucking sweet. But then at the same time, I'm like, I know I'm building my credit up so I can get a van. So I know I'm going to have a big fucking payment again soon.
Yeah. No, I'm exactly like that too, except for the part about having money in savings.
I made it a point to have at least $500 in savings. Because people were talking about it like, yo, nobody has enough for like a $500 emergency. And I'm like, well, I've got a credit card that's like, a couple of grand, so that's not a big deal. If I paid it off, I can at least use it for emergency uses. Otherwise, I'd just cancel it. So I wouldn't be tempted.
Yeah.
But I thought it would also be nice to also have like $500 in savings, just so I'd have if there's an emergency that's like maybe I need to put brakes on my car or something, or that would probably cover like a set of tires. If I needed to buy a new set of tires or. And most small, random repairs are like, $500-600. Like car repairs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you got to pay a plumber or a fucking electrician to come out and fix something or something.
Although, you can build a really good credit score by like buying just like one small thing and then paying it off.
Yeah, so had I not bought the credit card, or not bought the credit card, had I not bought the computer with the credit card, my plan was to use the credit card to buy gas. Just every time I fill my tank up, buy gas and then pay it off the next month every time. Yeah. So that I can just slowly build like the thing, and then I think one of the other things I was considering was maybe use it for when I order food delivered, because I don't do that very often. Like I try to only do that like once or twice a month at most, if I can, like getting food delivered. Because I just don't like to eat fast food in general if I can avoid it.
I hear you. Yeah.
But every so often you feel lazy as fuck. You just don't feel like cooking, and there's nothing to. No leftovers to throw in the microwave or something. Nothing to like microwave, like so, you didn't get enough frozen microwavable burritos or something. So every once in a while you gotta have something from a place. Yeah, and the nice thing is, at least with like the Grubhub and the DoorDash, is there's like diners and stuff you can order from, so it's not just like fucking Taco Bell and Burger King all the time.
Right. Yeah, pretty much anywhere, man.
The downside
is really cool.
The downside is you feel really guilty because anytime you order something from a diner, like me personally, I can cook better than any of the diners that send food to us. So I'm like, well, I didn't have to cook this meal, but if I had, it would have been better.
Yeah. I think that's why, like, my son will order stuff from DoorDash constantly. Oh, not here. Because I'll fucking cook for him, dude.
Yeah.
But his mom is such a shitty cook.
He's just like, I orders DoorDash.
Yeah, he orders from DoorDash all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's like for dinner tonight, I took a couple of chicken breasts and I marinated them with just lemon juice and the lemon zest and some diced up garlic. Like really, really small diced up garlic. And then I cooked it in, added a little salt, pepper, a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of coriander, and some paprika, and then I added heavy cream and then reduced that and thickened it a little bit as a sauce for pasta. So not exactly Alfredo,
Yeah.
because Alfredo has a few other things in
Close.
there.
But pretty damn close.
but with the kind of a lemony, like a very light lemony flavor to it too. It was really fucking tasty.
Yeah. Dude, there's something I want to try, but I don't know if it'll work. I think I've told you that, like, you can make really quick fudge just by using, like, is it condensed or evaporated milk?
Yeah,
whichever one's sweeter.
condensed milk and chocolate chips. Is usually
Chocolate
what it
chips,
is.
yeah. All right, but what I want to try to do, because there was this dairy or whatever that's back in upstate New York, close to where I grew up, and they make basically a chocolate with I assume it's cream cheese. It just says chocolate cheese, but it's got to be cream cheese. All right, so basically, and it's fucking fantastic, dude. It was so good when they brought that shit back, dude. So what I want to try to do to try to replicate that is to do, again, basically the whole fudge thing, with the condensed milk and chips or whatever, but then mix in cream cheese into that and see if it comes out anywhere near like that.
That would actually be a really good idea. I mean, I know you can add peanut butter and make chocolate peanut butter fudge that way too. And it comes out a lot softer. The only thing you have to regulate really is how much chocolate to how much softer ingredients is going to affect the consistency of the outcome. Too much chocolate and it's going to be too hard. Too little chocolate and it's going to be too soft. So you may have to make it 3 or 4 times just to kind of narrow in on that perfect mix.
The stuff that they sold was.
It's definitely cream cheese if it's got kind of a little bit of a soury, almost fruity flavor hint, but like super.
Yeah,
faint.
and it wasn't anywhere near fudge consistency. Like, it was definitely very soft.
Oh, then it's definitely
You know what I
cream
mean?
cheese. They might even just add chocolate to cream cheese. They might not even have anything else in there.
Yeah, it's got to be. I can't think of any other cheese you could put in that would get that fucking taste, or that it would be weird to have anything else in there.
Neufchal is a really similar flavor, but it's not quite the same.
Gotcha.
But if you added chocolate enough, that it would be really hard to tell the difference between Neufchal and cream cheese.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try it just to see what happens.
Yeah, Neufchal is not as rich, and it's a lower fat option that a lot of places make for if you want low fat cream cheese. Which I just like fucking. You're eating cream cheese. Stop eating it. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, just enjoy it.
Exactly.
Fucking around and worrying about the fat content or whatever.
You're having something that's decadent and it's a treat. Just don't do it every fucking day, and you're fine.
Yeah.
It's like I like bagels once in a while, just not every day.
Although I have been, I'm finally starting to get sick of the bagel sandwiches, dude. It's been like 3 weeks, dude, that I've just been eating like almost every day.
That's hilarious.
At least one bagel sandwich with a shitload of ham, turkey, chicken.
The one we get a lot at my house is Costco does those sandwich trays where it's all croissant sandwiches that are already made.
Oh God, I love croissant.
And we'll order that. And then eat off of it for like a couple of days because it's there's like 30 fucking sandwiches.
Yeah.
But it's so popular at the Costco we're at that you have to order them in advance now. Like you actually literally have to order them in advance.
That's fucking funny, dude.
But it's like it's at least 3 or 4 days worth of sandwiches. Like we'll have dinner that one night, and it comes with like 3 little tubs of different mayo spreads. Yeah. So there's like a honey mustard mayo, a spicy mustard mayo, and just like a regular mustard mayo. So you don't even have to like break out your own ingredients. It's already got like a good mix of mustard and mayonnaise in 3 different flavors to go with it.
Yeah, no, that's cool that they don't put it on the sandwiches and you can decide what you want to put on them. Because there's for me personally, I absolutely love just regular yellow mustard. And I fucking hate any other kind of mustard.
Yeah, so exactly. So you would be much happier. And each little croissant sandwich comes with there's turkey and Monterey Jack with a little lettuce and tomato. And it's real easy to just take off what you don't want. There's roast beef and like a Swiss with a little lettuce and tomato, and then there's ham and American with a little lettuce and tomato. So it's just three extremely basic. Everybody loves these kind of things, and they put the lettuce on the top of the tomato. So the tomato doesn't bleed into the bread, so you can take that tomato off, and it's almost like it wasn't there in the first place.
Yeah, see, tomatoes, in general, are pretty easy to just pick off. But any kind of sauce
they even put the lettuce between the croissant and the tomato, so that if you want to take the tomato off, there's no worry that it's soaked to the bread.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
I mean, it's a little detail, but that's like kind of the quality that you get from Costco. Costco is really good quality stuff. Like, I don't know if you've ever bought their steaks or their roasts or any of their meat, but their meat is almost all, like, way above, like, your normal Safeway grocery store kind of meat.
Yeah, I haven't, but I definitely take your word for it. I'm gonna have to do that, dude, because they're decently priced from what I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, so for the ribeye steaks, they've got two different levels. The one I'd never bought, it's like $200 for like 3. But when I was doing the keto thing, I was just eating so much meat and nothing else, and you still want to watch calories. So like a half a ribeye is a regular, like a meal. So it makes buying like $90 for 4 ribeyes, 3 or 4 ribeyes, just depending on how big they are, more than a good deal. Because that's going to feed you for like 6 days. Yeah. But I would buy that from them. Because if I'm already like depriving myself of all this other shit, I might as well get some good steaks. And goddamn, dude, their steaks were just top fucking notch.
Yeah, I gotta
take them home, cut them in half,
when you get a good quality steak,
then...
man. And dude, excuse me, dude, I literally just pan fry them, dude.
That's what I would do.
Able to actually get it. Yeah.
I had the best fucking steak dinners when I was on keto. Green beans are keto friendly. They're very low carb, and it's not bad carbs. It's not like sugars. It's like fiber carbs. So some of the carbs you have to count. Some of them you don't, depending on what they're made of. Simple sugars is what you have to avoid. So I would take like 2 pieces of bacon, cut them up real fine, and fry them in the pan just long enough to kind of get a little bit of the fat going. And then I'd put the ribeye steak on one side of the pan, and then I'd put green beans on the other side, and like let that soak up all the bacon fat, and just kind of cook that in the bacon fat. So the steak, the beans were all cooked in bacon fat. They all tasted absolutely amazing. And because it was keto, I added like a little bit of butter too, because I needed that extra fat to round out the calories.
Yeah, my mom, it's funny. My mom is actually doing the keto. My mom and my sister are actually doing the keto shit now. It's
really effective in cutting down inflammation and pain. I mean, that is not a lie.
Yeah, alright. That's fucking awesome, dude. Maybe I fucking should try it.
I'll tell you what, one of the interesting things about keto is when you start, you can kind of get the runs sometimes, or you can get really constipated for like a little while, depending on how used you are or not used you are to like having zero and in the way of like fibers. Like you're not having anywhere near as many fibers because you're not eating as many breads and pastas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that could be a kind of an annoying thing.
Due to my medication, I'm always fucking constipated. So
well, and who knows? Maybe it would go the other route, and you'd be like, "This is awesome." But one of the things you start doing really fast, like the first like week or something, is you start peeing like all the time because your body just drops like 20% of your water that you're retaining. So, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, as far as inflammation and stuff, water is part of what it's needed to have inflammation. You lose water quick. But it's not, like, in a bad way, because you can sit and drink water all fucking day, and you're not thirsty, and you don't feel deprived or anything. But I think probably the weirdest thing about keto, for me, was I was almost never hungry.
That's weird.
Yeah, like even I maybe skip a meal or something because whatever circumstances, I just didn't have time to fix anything that I could eat, and so I didn't want to get like something that I couldn't eat and fuck up the whole thing, because you kind of gotta really commit to keto for it to matter. Like you can't have cheat days on keto. I tried that for like a couple of weeks and was like, this is just dumb. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, just wasting it.
Yeah, you're just wasting your time.
Wasting all the effort.
Yeah, why deprive yourself when you just eat healthier and still have your cheat days, and it's not going to be as shocking to your system every fucking week. But yeah, like I'd just be never hungry. Like even when I knew like I needed to eat food because I was starting to feel weaker from lack of food, I would not be like, no hunger, no hunger pangs at all, ever. The entire time I was on it.
Yeesh, that's kind of scary, actually. Although, again, like you said, you know that you need to eat when you're fucking...
Well, but the thing is, like, half of keto is you're paying so much attention to your food, so you're going to lose weight anyway. So you really have a much better idea of how many calories you're getting every day and whether or not you genuinely need to eat or not. So it's not scary because you're just paying so much attention.
Yeah. Like everything, every meal, anything you're putting in your body, you're paying attention to what
you're counting every calorie, you're weighing
how much fat it has. Yeah,
you're reading all the nutritional facts to see how many like carbs and what kind of carbs they are. Is it dietary fiber or is it sugar? Because dietary fiber, you don't have to count. Sugar, you do. And I think it was less than 15 grams of sugars in any given day. Was the highest you could really go and still call it keto, and then no more than like 5 grams of simple sugar carbs in any one meal. So like, yeah, you could have 15 grams, but not all at once.
Yeah, you got to spread it out a little. I hear you.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, they've found some place that has all these powdered. Basically, you make them into shakes with like heavy whipping cream, I guess.
Oh yeah. There's like 1,000,001 keto options out there that were not out there when I did it, because it's just gotten so much more popular. There's food bars, there's shakes, there's candies, there's a fuck ton of baking mixes now. So like, and like if you want to make pancakes, if you want to make brownies, if you want to make a cake, if you want to make cookies, if you want to make like, there's a baking mix for anything you could possibly think of.
Yeah, and they have like these dessert pouches. Like one of them's like orange cream, and my mom was telling me, it tastes literally just like a creamsicle.
Well, and the weird thing with the keto is your fucking your sweet tooth will change entirely. So like, you know how like strawberries from the store are kind of sour?
Yeah, a little tart.
Not at all on keto. They're all sweet.
Huh. Yeah.
Like any kind of berries you get are all sweet. Like raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. You can get them the shitty ones from the grocery store, and they're great.
It still tastes fantastic.
I mean, you can only eat like 6 fucking raspberries at a time as a treat, but like they taste so good.
Yeah.
And even after this, like I cannot stand sweets anywhere near as much as I could before. Like I don't like too sweet is definitely a real problem now. I will not eat things that are too sweet.
Yeah. No, that's not a problem with me. So that would be a good problem for me to have. Fucking A.
Yeah.
I'm still making. That's why I'm not doing it as much, but I'm still making the occasional fucking soda shake. Was it last week when I was telling you about that shit? Yeah. Basically, you get pour soda, maybe about a third of the way up whatever glass you're putting it in.
Yeah.
Stir it up until all the fucking fizz is out of it, so it's essentially flat. And then fucking dump in a bunch of ice cream and mix it all together. So fucking good.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, it would be really nice if that was too sweet for me.
Well, I don't know. You might still like it. You never know. But, yeah, no. Because one of the things that's too sweet that I
It's
still
fucking-
just can't help myself occasionally is I'll occasionally get like a Ben and Jerry's pint. But then I'll eat it in stages. Like I'll eat like a little bit here and there. I can't eat it for very long. But I just like they're so good, especially when you're high.
Oh yeah, yeah, that definitely makes it tough, man.
Now, if you're doing keto right, there's a lot of salads. Because lettuce is one of the really low carb things you can eat a lot of and still get like some vegetables. Like you want to have like a lot of green beans and lettuce and broccoli and asparagus and Brussels sprouts in your diet, because you still need to get all those vitamins and those nutrients from the fucking vegetables. Like even if you take like multivitamins so that you're not missing anything, it's still a good idea to get some of your stuff from those.
Hey, do they
lettuce tastes like
do they
candy
have
sweet.
Do they have the Brussels sprouts that are still on the fucking stock or whatever?
Very once in a while at Safeway. Not all the time, but very, very occasionally.
Yeah, because again, the first time I saw that, because I'd never seen like what Brussels sprouts look like when they're growing in the fucking in the farm or whatever. So I was like, what the fuck? That's how they look? I was like, that was fucking weird.
Well, like if you grow your own asparagus, for instance, like those plants live for like 30 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they continue to grow and like spread. So like you can plant some asparagus and get it going, and then like for like I think the first 6 or 7 years there's not a whole lot, but then like after year 6 or 7 it just starts to fucking go crazy, and it'll last for like 30 years. It's like massive. They're
Just constantly,
crazy how much fucking
regrowing it.
asparagus grows. Yeah. And they actually, when they let them grow, because every once in a while it's a good idea to let, like, you know, a certain number of stalks grow to seed, just because it's good for the plant to go through the whole cycle and not have everything trimmed off. Like, it needs to get some fucking sunlight. Are really pretty. Like, they're actually really nice looking, the asparagus, when they go all the way through their life cycle. They're quite nice to look at. And then we've grown Brussels sprouts, so I already had seen Brussels sprouts many times on the stalk before.
Super thick stalk, it seems like to me.
Yeah,
Really
they're like little itty bitty
sprouts.
things on the side of the stalk. They look real small compared to the fucking stalk.
Yeah, because the stalk, I'm going off from memory, but I'm thinking that was a good 2 inches across at least, maybe only 3.
Yeah,
like
they're big.
Diameter.
Oh yeah, they're fucking huge.
Yeah. I think that's what threw me. I'm like, what the fuck crazy plant is this? Because I didn't recognize it as Brussels sprouts because I'd never seen the fucking stalk or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit, these are just Brussels sprouts on this weird.
Well, and then the weird thing about that is
thick.
like, I don't know why they sell them on the stalk, because there's no real benefit to that. And there's nothing you can do with the stalk that I'm aware of. Like, you can't eat the stalk. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I don't think you
I
can.
was wondering about that.
I've never tried.
Yeah, so it is really weird for them to keep it on the stock. Unless that keeps the price down. You know what I mean? Maybe it keeps the price down if nobody has to pick them off of the stock.
Oh, I don't know. It's like I know.
Yeah,
like
I don't
corn,
know
when they have
either.
the,
I'm just guessing.
when you buy corn on the cob, it's nice that it's not shucked, because that protects the corn from getting damaged during shipping a lot and keeps it good longer if you leave the husk on. So I understand why they do that, but
Yeah.
you know,
But
things like that.
Gigantic
Or like
stalk,
grapes.
dude, Jesus Christ.
Grapes don't go bad nearly as quickly if you leave them on the little, the little stick thingies they're all attached to. I forget what you call that. But if you pluck them all the way off so they're just separate grapes, they're not in a bunch anymore, they go bad a lot faster. So I get that, because clearly you're not eating all the stems from the grapes,
Yeah, they're super thin anyway, But yeah,
And then,
that ratio, whatever the Brussels sprouts to stock ratio is fucking huge.
I know you can eat a surprising amount of the artichoke stem. On artichokes. It's like if you take off the very outside leaves and then trim about maybe about a 1/4 inch in on the stem all the way around on the bottom of the stem, you can eat the whole thing.
Yeah, I love artichokes, man. That's some good shit.
Yeah.
On pizza, dude. Do you ever have artichokes on pizza?
Yeah. Oh yeah, artichoke hearts on pizza? Absolutely, man.
Okay. Yeah.
And in fact,
Yeah, dude,
the
there was
last
this place-
pizza I ordered was olives, mushrooms, chicken, and artichoke hearts.
Nice. Yeah, I had never tried it before, but then when I lived up in Flagstaff, when I had moved up and lived in Flagstaff for a couple of years, there was this place. It's called, what is it, New Jersey Pizza, or maybe Jersey Pizza. Well, whatever. They made fantastic. Everything was fucking great there, dude. But anyways, yeah, artichoke hearts was one of the options, and I would get like a calzone with like basically just like pepperoni, sausage, and then artichoke hearts.
Oh, that sounds good.
And it was so goddamn good. Yeah,
it's a good combination. Of good salty meats to go with that. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's why I went olives and the mushrooms to get that savory and salty to go with that artichoke.
Yeah, it's a good mix, dude, for sure. I fucking miss that place. Now I'm thinking about it. Their pizza was fantastic. They made gelato, like their own fucking gelato. That was, again, just fucking amazing. Actually, yeah, the last time we went up, I got it, because now anytime I eat gelato, like before it would always be chocolate, for one thing. But now I'll get the vanilla and then get like strawberries from the grocery store. Because again, it offsets the sweetness with the fucking, the sour or the tart flavor of the.
Oh yeah, that works. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's fucking great, dude. Because the gelato by itself is really, really fucking sweet. So you almost have to. You almost have to have something.
I've never had gelato. No, I bought some gelato from the grocery store, but I don't know how like accurate it was. And yeah, I remember it being kind of sweet. That's right. I bought. Like, they sold it in those little pint jars, like kind of like Ben & Jerry's, but just like, vanilla and like mint chip and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's close, but getting the homemade shit, or again, like that place where they
or in like a place where they make it, on site, I think where you get fresh gelato is probably the best way to go.
It's definitely better, but again, the store-bought shit's pretty decent too.
All right, well then I've had gelato for sure then. And it was very sweet.
Indeed. Yeah, I don't think I've eaten much from the grocery store, but yeah, I remember it still being good.
Oh, I've been brave enough to eat like sushi from the grocery store too. So I mean, I'm willing to try a lot of things that you shouldn't try from the grocery store.
Yeah, well, the fries where I shop at, they actually have like this Japanese couple that make the sushi. Like, that's all they do, is just, they have a little fucking kiosk and shit, like all around the outside, obviously, is all their sushi or whatever. But yeah, they actually have a Japanese couple that...
Oh, no, the store I got sushi from, they just get it on a delivery truck every day.
Oh, yeah.
That's
the only reason I got from the grocery store. They never have freshwater eel, man, and I love freshwater eel.
I've never had freshwater eel.
Yeah, that one's one that they actually cook. It's not raw. But yeah,
I've had sushi. I went to a sushi restaurant once with somebody, and I was surprised to find out that some of the rolls were cooked. I just assumed it was all cold and raw.
Yeah, no.
And I love the fucking wasabi. If you go to an actual sushi restaurant, the wasabi is actual wasabi a lot of the times. Or if you're willing to pay enough, it's real wasabi. And man, that's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really like I like a lot of spicy shit. I don't like horseradish, dude.
Yeah, the fake wasabi and the horseradish definitely clear you up real fucking good, don't they?
Yeah, but I just don't like the taste. Like, I don't mind eating spicy
clear out your nose, and it's not really a spice though.
Yeah, because it's like a root, basically, right?
Well, I'm just saying, like, the flavor is extreme. But I wouldn't compare it to like a jalapeno or another pepper with capsaicin. Because it's a different chemical. So the flavor, I don't know if I would call it like a spicy thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, that's the closest I can think of. It's hot. Yeah, the closest I can think of is it's very hot.
Yeah, but I just don't really enjoy the flavor. Like, I'll eat like salsa or fucking, jalapenos or whatever. No problem, man. I like the flavor. But yeah, for whatever reason, dude, I don't like the taste of fucking horseradish.
Oh, you know what I haven't gotten in a long time, but I used to buy these wasabi shrimp puffs.
That is an interesting combination.
It was like dried shrimp flavored, like puffed something that was really, really crispy and crunchy. with like a wasabi coating on the outside. It was so good. I started eating because one of the places I worked, this Chinese chick worked there, and she brought him in and got everybody to try him, and I was like, I gotta find these and buy them now. Like,
yeah, dude, yeah. But if you ever find yourself at a sushi restaurant again, try the eel, dude.
Freshwater eel.
Yeah, it's kind of pricey, but you got to try it at least once, man.
No, they might not let me in anymore.
Good.
I don't know. I don't have my vaccine passport.
Oh yeah.
So fucking dumb.
Oh god. Yeah, it really is ridiculous, dude.
It's like, look, at this point, here's the thing. If you genuinely believe the vaccines worked, and you believe in science, then you would understand that a person who's not vaccinated is no risk to anyone else that's vaccinated.
Yeah.
Like,
as long as you got it, you should be fine, right?
Like,
you have faith in it?
There's no reason to be concerned about people that are unvaccinated whatsoever. There's no reason to force it on anyone. Because if you genuinely believe it works, then you would understand that you're not at any sort of risk. You're not going to catch it because somebody else didn't get the vaccine. That's not how that works.
Yeah, but I think that's the issue is no matter what they might say, even they don't fully trust it. You know. Well,
the thing is, like, the vaccine doesn't work, and it's not going to matter who is and isn't vaccinated, except for it's much more likely, based on the science that we know so far, to make your symptoms substantially worse if you've been vaccinated. But it will not make it less likely for you to catch it. And mRNA vaccines do not prevent you from catching anything. That's not what they're for. They're supposed to make it so that when you inevitably catch it... Well, it's supposed to make it so that when you inevitably catch it anyway, that it's very mild and that you're over it much faster.
Yeah, they really need to quit calling it a vaccine.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it a vaccine, because it's not how it functions.
Yeah, it's basically similar to a fucking flu shot, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's the mRNA it's not doing what a normal vaccine infects you with the virus in a weakened or dead state. So your body can basically practice on real viruses from like naturally occurring sources, so that it's not so that it learns how to make the stuff on its own. mRNA is cutting that process out and just trying to teach your body how to make the antibodies through like programming.
But basically for just one single fucking strain only.
Well, we just don't understand how to train the body the way that the body would train itself. Like, we don't understand how to make that happen without putting in dead or some neutralized in some way of the actual virus. This is the only way we know how to teach the body how to make its own antibodies. We don't know how to like program it to make all those different steps that are along the way. It's not just the one step of making the correct antibody.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't trust it, because I don't think we understand enough, technologically speaking, to program things correctly in that way.
Yeah. Or to program something that's going to be able to, kill any variants as well and not need a new
But then
fucking
fuck me, I don't know what I'm talking about. I am anti-science. Watch the guy with the sweater on TikTok. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Probably just a paid fucking actor. He's probably not even a scientist. He's probably a paid fucking actor. People are so fucking dumb.
Alright. Oh god. It's like listening to the fucking anti-vaxxers. You know? Again, not in relation to COVID.
Clear, I'm not anti-vax at all. I'm not stupid.
Me
I
neither.
Pay attention to technology and what's going on, and I read about it.
Yeah.
And all of this information came out like a year ago, before these vaccines were even out. Or not a year ago, but they came out when the vaccines were being tested in Ireland. The fucking Prime Minister just volunteered everybody.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Or no, not Ireland. I don't know why I thought Ireland. It's Israel. They're both fucking start with an I, and I'm tired. It's probably time to stop too. But Israel, the Prime Minister of Israel,
Ireland, Israel, potato.
He signed up everybody against he didn't even give them an option to decide for themselves. He signed up the whole country for it to be like the testing ground for the new vaccine.
That's fucking evil, dude.
Yeah. So it all went out into Israel before it went into anybody else. That's still not a real like human test though, because you need to. It takes longer. You have to study long term. You can't just study like a couple of months.
I was so hoping that you were going to say it's because Jews aren't human.
Jews aren't human. There's just not enough controls and not enough other stuff involved, and it's certainly not over a long enough period of time to accurately get the information you would need in a human trial.
And honestly, it's not really that much better at this point as opposed to what happened to people in Israel. Because it's still fucking way rushed and came out way too fucking quick, dude.
Didn't the Nazis try fucking all this kind of stuff and used fucking Jews to test medical shit on?
I guess the Jews are figuring, well, if it's gonna happen,
I guess if it's us doing it, it's okay. But if it's the Nazis, we're not. Like, did you fucking you be a little more fucking concerned? But yeah, all this information came out about all these different mRNA attempts at mRNA sort of vaccines with big quotes around them. It came out back then too. So like this information has been out there for a while, and it's based on, ironically, data that comes not only from the scientific trials and the papers that were written because of it, but also like there's stuff in like the CDC's data banks and the World Health Organization's data banks that has information about this as well. So it blows my mind that there's people who are like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not science. Like, no, that's absolutely what we're talking about. Like, it's publicly available information, you stupid fucking cunt.
Yeah, there's a fucking show on Netflix. It's with, I don't know if you're familiar with Tom Papa, the comedian.
Yes, I know who Tom Papa is.
Okay. Yeah, and then he's got a show with another comedian, and her name is Fortune Feimster.
Don't know her. I know Tom Papa because he was on Rogan a bunch, so.
Yeah.
When I still watch Rogan.
But anyways, dude, on their show, they're constantly talking about the vaccine and COVID and all this shit. Like, a suspicious amount of time is dedicated to it.
Oh, but they're pro-vaccine, I'm guessing?
Yeah, exactly.
So they're taking the money to pretend that it's like natural occurring conversation.
All right. Yeah. They have to be, dude. It's too fucking often. Talking about, these people are not getting the vaccine. Like, I can't wait to get the vaccine. Back like early on when it was only for like elderly people and that kind of shit. Yeah.
Well, and then this 6 month thing is just insane. Like, that's not. There's no reason for it to only last 6 months. So if this mRNA thing is successful, you shouldn't need boosters every 6 months. That's not how that technology should function.
Yeah.
There's also nothing at all whatsoever to suggest that your immunity gained by having COVID-19 and already having it once lasts for only 6 months. That's not based in any sort of science or study or information or gathered data at all. That's just nonsense.
Right.
In point of fact, the number of people who've been reinfected that haven't had is very, very low. It's just a handful of people, and even for that handful of people, the majority of it has been not terrible. Like, they've been much, much milder symptoms.
Yeah.
When they do get it. So, like, naturally getting it and recovering is much better for you. And realistically, it would have been better, instead of doing an mRNA one, to collect and breed the ones that were symptom-free and fucking infect people with those strains. Like, that would actually make more sense and be more effective at helping people prevent COVID-19 than all this other shit they did. Because you gain just as much immunity from a symptom-free strain as you do from a strain that's really bad. But you're also immune from the strain that's really bad if you take the symptom-free one.
Yeah, and you got to think the people that have, got the vaccine thinking that they were, one and done or two and done for the 2-step one, have got to be pissed to find out that they can still get it.
No, they don't understand
really
that they can
sold.
still get it. I have yet to see anybody who understands that it's not really a vaccine that prevents you from getting COVID-19. That's not how it functions.
I think too many people are getting it that got the vaccine for them to still, you know what I mean? Like it's getting out there now because there's so many people that are getting getting COVID that got the vaccine.
Yeah, well, yeah, but once they're, the way these vaccines work, once you're exposed to the virus in the wild, you're going to get it again. It's just not that effective at preventing it. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's fucking crazy.
It was never intended to prevent you from getting it in the first place. The problem is that it's even worse if you get it when it's in the wild now, which is why they're probably calling things other variants that aren't.
Oh, right.
Because
this is why.
That's the way they can claim it's not the vaccine that's causing the problem. It's the Delta variant.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking sinister, man.
Mm-hmm. That's my assumption. Yep.
Yeah, it's a pretty good cover-up, man. The reason you got it is because it's a variant.
I'd also be willing to bet that a lot of the really wealthy and famous people that are getting the injection publicly are not actually being injected.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that a lot of them didn't actually get the vaccine. Like, I doubt Fauci got the vaccine. He's a doctor. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows what's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows it's all bullshit. But he's got to...
But getting a saline injection in front of a camera is enough to sell a few thousand more units, and he puts some more money in his fucking pocket, so...
Yeah, he obviously has a vested interest.
And I think one of the reasons why de Blasio floated that the voluntary phase is over bullshit is because there's a shelf life on this stuff. So if more than half the population doesn't get it, which is probably what's going to be the case, then that's a lot of shit they produced and doesn't get injected and doesn't get paid for. That's a lot of money just down the fucking toilet that nobody's going to fucking get money for.
Yeah. Or the pharmacy or wherever.
I mean, imagine if you made 3,000 cans of beer, but only 1,500 ever sold. You definitely didn't make a profit.
Yeah. Got to actually be sold to people.
Yeah. Although I don't know, maybe the country's paid for all the doses, whether they got used or not. I don't know. I wouldn't imagine though. That doesn't make sense.
Although, didn't Biden talk about how he fucking bought hundreds of millions of fucking, ordered hundreds of millions of the vaccine?
Yeah.
Very proudly.
Who fucking knows?
It's not a waste of money.
I'm dreading the next cold and flu season because people are going to start dying again in massive numbers. They'll probably use it as an excuse to do lockdown. They're not going to tell the truth and be like, this is because the vaccine was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's going to get bad, a lot worse next year, I think. Also, because if you consider how much money corporations manage to fucking make over the fucking lockdowns, all these small businesses closed. They took business from millions of small businesses. That's billions, if not trillions of dollars more in the corporate pocket. They're not gonna fucking want to give that up. They're gonna want that every year.
Yeah, they're able to fucking squeeze out any small businesses, man.
Yeah, they're going to want that every
eliminate
year.
A lot of competition.
Every year they're going to have an opportunity to shut down more small businesses. Corporations absolutely want that. They need that product. Any competition means their products are not sold as well because they don't put out quality products. They don't compete that way.
Yeah.
That's how you know they're not capitalist anymore. Because they're not actually trying to put out a better product at a better price.
Yeah.
They're putting out a product at a price they want, and then as soon as they can drop the competition, they raise the price and drop the quality of the product because you have no other option.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like state sanctioned monopolies, dude.
Yeah, Microsoft Windows is not that expensive because it's the best option. It's because you literally have 3 options, and unless you're insane or a really computer techie guy, Windows is the best option for most people. Yeah, like Apple is just dog shit. You can't do anything with Apple that it doesn't specifically design it to do. Like Windows is the only one where you can kind of like fuck around and do all sorts of crazy shit on. And well, you can do that on Linux too, but you have to know a lot more about computers to use Linux than you do for using Windows. So Windows is really, basically your only option for operating systems most of the time, realistically.
Yeah, it's really the only viable one.
So that's why it costs, $2,000, fucking, I don't know how much it costs. How much does Windows cost?
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Oh, it fucking...
Are you looking it up?
It fucking gave me, like, a list of Windows, like, if you want to replace your Windows in your house.
Oh, right. Type in Microsoft Windows. That would probably take care of that issue. One would think.
Oh, wow. It looks like their newest version of Windows is going to be $35 a month.
A month? Jesus Christ, dude.
Looks like what they're trying to fucking do. Oh, it doesn't want to say how much it costs. Let's see. Let's click through to buy it on. Oh no, I'm not telling you my location. You have to click through to buy Windows. So they're doing the upgrades. You can upgrade, I guess, if you have Windows 10. But it's not telling me how much to fucking buy just the operating system. I think because nobody wants to admit that it's like a fucking subscription fee. Which I don't think you should be able to do with computer programs. I don't think you should be able to legally charge people.
Yeah, to use it monthly or whatever.
Yeah. It's like you either sell them the product or you don't. I don't think you should be able to rent it. It's not a physical, tangible object that you can take back. Let's see. Microsoft reveals first Windows 365 pricing for PCs. $31 monthly.
So yeah, there's no option to just buy it outright then, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. This is really weird. It's based on your CPUs and your RAM. This fucking it doesn't make any sense. Essentially, they're gonna rip you off. Is what it really is. Yeah, they really want you to put stuff in the cloud. Like that's the dumbest bullshit.
Yeah, cloud storage is all the rage.
Yeah, it's $31 a month, and you need a PC to run it. Yeah. Or maybe this is their cloud storage. It might just be cloud storage, or like access to computing through a cloud.
Yeah. Well, that one kind of makes sense, although it still sounds pricey even for that.
Yeah, maybe I can find out how much Windows 10 costs. Because 11 is still in beta anyway. Okay, buy Windows 10 Pro for business. $200. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. $200 for something they're selling to that many people, and you don't have an option. It would genuinely be like Linux is free as far as I know, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure.
I know it's an operating system or whatever, but that's about all I know about it.
Yeah, I don't know how much Apple's operating system costs because I don't know anybody who'd actually spend money if they didn't already buy an Apple product to put it on anything. Would be stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't think.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure Linux is free. I don't think you have to. Yeah, I don't think you have to pay for Linux.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Yeah, if you were a business,
guess you
the
just
cost
have
would be in training people to use Linux.
Mm.
And if you want to buy servers that run it, you have to spend a lot of money. But it's just an operating system. I believe it's free. We should probably stop. This is getting fucking boring and ridiculous.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like, well, all right.
Yeah, all right.
So, yeah.
Everybody that joined us and stayed this long, awesome. Thank you so much.